Dana, this week is Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase, the Chevy Chase.
And you got to give it up for such an old school OG. First year, only did 1 year. A lot of people don't know that because it was such a powerhouse.
He exploded.
Crushed it. Tall, good looking, funny. Goldie Hawn said that's just a combo you don't see a lot, you know?
Yes. And so he's got all that credit. And so when he came in, I knew that his sense of humor, because he had hosted SNL, and he's been very sweet to me over the years, but I knew he likes to say the inappropriate thing. And so he started doing it. So this is not for the faint of heart, this episode. I think it's really funny. Chevy was in full funny form. And so we just all really, really laughed. And his wife, Janie, was there, and his daughter, Kaylee. So I think it ended up being a really good experience.
It's one
for
of the
him.
more interesting ones because it is chaotic. It's he's jumping around. It's just like no one was here. We were just laughing at dinner, just saying stupid things. Some was a little off color and crazy, but remember, it is in the spirit of just we're trying to make each other laugh and be funny.
Yeah. Once I knew that he just wants to say the inappropriate thing with his timing, it's perfect. Yeah. It's like so wrong, it's right. I just started laughing.
And that's what made
Greg,
him famous, and that's what's
and
good.
Heather,
we all had a good time.
We all laughed our ass off, and I think he had a great time.
So if you want to hear one of the OGs, stay tuned. Here he is, Chevy Chase.
Mr. Chase is getting comfortable here on the podcast.
Well, I'm not ready.
We brought in a new chair.
Where's Spade? Showering now?
He doesn't know. No, he's bathing.
He's bathing. That's
I don't
even
know what
better.
he's doing.
He's in there like this.
David is missing all the best
Come on,
parts.
David. I don't have all day. I've got another interview with Carlton Travels.
Keep going.
I'm not going to quit on you.
Oh,
woo-hoo.
That's right. I don't want to ask.
I love the way you typed out your questions.
Well, don't you do it like that? I can't do it linear
actually.
Because the bubbles. This was guest prep.
Did you say death threat?
Death threat.
Thank
he
you.
killed a man in Reno in 1977. That's the first line.
The guy was named Skippy. Uh-oh.
Skippy Bloodthirst. Oh.
Skippy. Come on, Dave. We're doing a Skippy thing.
Sometimes he panics when we have a big star on the show.
Well,
David,
how about if you had Skippy on the show?
Skippy dippy dippy.
You know about that, right?
Skip. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah,
yes. The old taser run around the yard, try to survive trick. Run into the bathroom and.
It's a very good Carson. By the way, you know he's a good friend of mine, and you look nothing like him.
Who? Johnny?
Oh, that's right, Johnny.
Johnny.
Did you know Johnny?
I was on 5 times, and then I got blacklisted.
What'd you do?
I did. I was doing it with Phil Hartman. I'm doing Johnny Carson. We were doing the basics, for those of you at home, you're watching a thing called a television, and we're not actually in your living room. It was that kind of stuff. And then at one point, we did one where he didn't know that Susan Day was not still on the Partridge Family. So,
I know either of those.
I know.
Things.
It was like 10 years later. But then on the next Tonight Show, because this Carson fanatic told me, he said, "You see that, Ed? We're senile now." So he would go down the hall yelling, "It's time to go. They're making fun of me now. It's time to go."
He did?
Oh, that's according to Jay Leno. The people go. It doesn't matter.
Fuck.
You were on Carson. Yeah,
that's a good Jay.
Well, he just has all this wisdom. You just do it. It doesn't matter.
And so funny. What the fuck?
Chasey's.
Oh, hi, David.
Can we call you Chasey as like a nickname?
Lunch.
David Spade has joined the podcast. Chevy and I did a cute.
Do I mind if you blow your nose, Dave?
20 up front.
Is this mic about right? Yeah, you're good. Because I seem far away.
It's beautiful.
That's okay. I'll just do this. Nice to have seen you.
He'll throw at his lumbar, but we'll hear him.
Did you tell him?
I'll do Carson all day.
Lumbar's good.
Lumbar.
Tell him when you saw him at the...
okay. So if you don't remember this, it doesn't matter, but there's 2 funny or interesting stories about you and I. I got cast on SNL. with auditioning. I go to Lauren's house in August.
Are we taping?
Yeah.
We're always taping. We've been taping the last 20 minutes. We're almost.
I'm sorry. Does that hurt?
We're almost done.
We can say whatever.
Motherfucker.
Okay, say it again.
God, that little bitch. Okay. So 86, I get cast in SNL. I'm not on the show yet, and I'm at Lauren's house in August. We go to a Yankees game. I'm with you. Tyson is sitting away from us. You go, let's go meet the champ. And we walked through the audience, and they were just, Chevy, going crazy. And then we met Tyson. And he goes, hey, Chevy Tyson. Oh, I'm sorry, now I'm doing Jay Leno. Fuck!
Mike Leno.
They're both the same, really.
They're kind of thing, yeah. Yeah, I know you, but I don't even know who that guy is. But you introduced me to Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Do you remember that? You don't have to.
Let me just think.
No.
Nope. Don't remember.
Okay, here's my second one.
I like this little goofy
Only
motherfucker.
you witnessed this, Chevy. You, me, and Lauren, Paul and Linda came over that in August, and A. Whitney Brown, a comedian, was there with us.
Everybody. McCartney. Paul.
Oh, that guy.
That guy,
Paul.
McCartney. Yeah. I just want to see if you remember what Whitney said. So McCartney's kind of sheepishly plays a song that is not out. He just recorded it, and he plays it for us, and we're listening to his song, and then it ends, and there's a pause, and Whitney said, just like this, reminds me of Julian Lennon. And Paul never forgot it.
Well, that's one of you.
Julian
Lennon. To say that to Paul.
Well,
that's all I got.
Is there Kleenex or something in here? What is
that
this
what you
thing?
need? That's supposed to be the name of the thing.
Would you like a
Supposed to be
Tic
what?
Tac?
It's supposed to be the name of the show, but it looks like a lunchbox.
No, why? Am I breathing?
No, not at all. I just feel like you're good with props. Here's the key to the cellar.
He's a prop guy.
There's the
happen to be
keys.
good with
Keys.
props.
That's where I keep her.
What's this one?
The keys to
So
the
where-
cellar
did you say that?
where I keep the people.
I'm sorry. Look, there's no chance that you're going to speak. This guy's unfucking believable.
We planned that I would start it, but I'm going to be very quiet right now.
No.
All right. Now, which one of you is Dana?
Let's just get that out of the way right up front.
I'm Chevy.
found him.
You're David. He's Dana.
Chevy is a legendary comic. I don't use that lightly. Grew up on all these movies, watched it your whole time. Unbelievable. There was it said here you started the National Lampoon Radio Hour. Is that what it's called? The Radio Hour? I didn't really even know.
Radio Hour, yes. It was called a Radio Hour.
What was the Radio Hour?
Radio Hour.
What was that?
That's a tough
Ray
one.
Hour?
Look,
It's a Ray Hour.
Look, we can get you a cocktail if it'll make you better.
Where's fucking
I would mention Foster Brooks if our crowd wasn't 5 to 7 year olds. So let me think.
Foster Brooks.
Remember Foster Brooks?
Let me just think back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I try not to do those.
Did he die?
references.
Or is many of him alive? What?
He died of fake alcoholism.
He's with Walt Disney. They froze him and took his head and put it in a tomb.
So that National Lampoon Radio Hour, is that, because I didn't even know about that, but a lot of people came on to SNL from that.
That was O'Donoghue's
Okay.
thing. Michael O'Donoghue.
Who wound up being a writer on SNL.
The most incredible guy, really funny. He was just the best writer in the world.
He's mentioned a lot on this podcast, but it's interesting to hear you.
Oh, yeah, no, he was. In fact, he was a little bit fastidious. He had, in his tiny office, you remember the offices?
Oh, yeah, just like college dorms. Yeah.
Excuse me.
You fanning yourself?
We could get the air down. I like it cool. I have rosacea. That's another.
So he would have, that's nice.
You'll see later.
Oh, sure, fuck me over.
I'll have a pink flow. But
Just
anyway,
because I have it.
no,
wait, on this wall, on his corkboard.
got it.
He'd have ideas.
Right.
And he was very, as I say, in caps, each little thing he'd do. Mm-hmm. And I'd go in there when he wasn't in there and just move those things just about an inch to the right.
Oh, no. Doesn't like that.
And he'd come in.
That sounds like
This is his.
college shenanigans.
Yep.
So you started as a writer. So you had Michael. Who else was writing with you when you first, Lauren.
Lauren. Thank you. That's it. No.
Well, you had
Dare I say Alan Zweibel, who never wrote anything? What? Danny Aykroyd.
Well, Danny, yeah.
Oh, of course. And Al Franken and Tom Davis were there then in the beginning.
So.
Did you kind of put that writing staff together or with Lauren kind of?
No, I just did it. Not Lauren. No.
So Zweibel didn't
All
write
Lauren
anything.
did was pay me big.
Well, you were in this National Lampoon Radio Hour with a couple of these guys, and so Lauren kind of went there to pluck some of those writers and performers off of that. It was radio sketches. Is that what it was?
What's the question?
What was the radio hour? What were you guys doing? Bits or what were you doing?
Yeah, very funny shit. And let's see, Billy Murray was on it.
Yeah.
And then, I think he killed somebody. And then,
right. I got
you know
buried.
Billy Murray, don't you?
Oh yeah, he's an Irish. You wouldn't want to. Yeah, he's a tough
Irish guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's.
I saw him take somebody by their feet and slam them on the floor. No, okay. Anyway,
How did Martin Short take that?
right, exactly.
He's
Billy,
wily too.
I have to say I love him, but he's a strange fellow, Billy.
You guys were magic together. We'll talk about that later.
That's right.
And
About
and
an hour and a half
Caddyshack.
from now.
Yes, we do have cookies and milk and a little nap halfway through.
Yeah.
For David.
Dane and I are getting up there.
I'm getting a foot massage.
So you get
right
on
now.
S.
That's okay. I don't want anything to drink.
They pluck you guys off. They put you on. You got.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, David.
You got some great, sir.
I got it.
See,
What have I done?
well, you're just always
That's
practicing your art.
No, that was a good one, actually.
You were that way when I met you in '86. You would just do. I remember you trying to put a pizza box into a little garbage can. No one was watching. And I go, he's doing Buster Keaton. You couldn't put it in. You folded it. You looked around. I mean, it's really interesting. I was watching you
makes
work.
sense.
Yeah, that you're just always practicing.
Yes, I heard a story. Is this true? When you met Goldie Hawn at Paramount, she had a crocheted handbag on, and when you walked in, you didn't say hi. You just went up and put your hand under the bag and said, "Cough, please."
Yes, that is true. Jenny's going.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
Oh, Janie's here, Chevy's wife.
Just had dinner with Goldie.
That's right.
She just reminded me.
Isn't that funny?
But I just said cough, not cough, please.
Yes, you know what? You're right.
See the difference?
The timing.
I'll just
cough.
talk to him then.
Yeah.
No, you know what?
You
It's
have
true.
a choice.
She said it was cough, and I added please to help the crowd
know,
at home.
that's so nice
You know,
of
you did it right, and
Thank you.
I should not tweak it. 100%.
So when you first met Goldie, like you're going to do a movie with her, did you just know right away the chemistry? Foul Play was the first one, right? Was that the first time you met her? When you
Borked her.
What?
Anyway,
I'm
we're
sorry.
gonna
What was that?
let's roll a clip.
we have
Don't
editing
allow that in.
capability.
Cut there. I
Don't
wanna-
worry.
Okay, and the question was,
Did you?
He's backing up. I know you're kidding.
I don't know. I'm interested in the people you met in the '70s that kind of just immediately impressed you. Obviously,
well, she was,
yeah.
yeah, she was beautiful, and
charming, funny,
charming,
funny.
yeah, funny, sort of funny.
Well,
We
you
just
were-
had dinner with her recently.
Yeah.
and is she
She's dead now.
was it because
2 days
was
later?
something she ate?
No, she's looks the same. It's amazing. This is many years later. She looks great and seems great.
She was the bubbly sort of airhead on Laugh-In, and then she became
Yeah.
this big movie star and movie producer.
And now she knows half the alphabet.
I don't know. I'm either punchy
like
or
it.
everything you say is killing me.
So you go
Anyway.
do Foul Play, which
She's
is
already sick of it. Look,
no, I like it. I
so
just
she's
I love it. Janie, is this how this people ask my wife? Is he like this all the time?
Yes.
Okay.
It's exhausting.
I love it. Funny is funny. So enough about you. What do you think of David and I?
no,
what
you.
happened now?
I don't know. I'm just.
I'm just smelling my mic. Doesn't everybody do that? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, here you can.
I'll
Okay,
read
let me
you. He
just
has
see.
perfect.
Can you
pitch.
read those?
You can
I
say.
make some
this
notes.
is too much.
All right.
I can't read that.
Who was more talented, Dan Aykroyd or
Pick anybody.
Goldie Hawn?
No, Danny was the resident genius,
Yes,
as I like
for sure.
to say, of SNL. And when I say that, I think of Danny like holding a painting, just sitting like off to the stage right or something with a painting and talking about it. Yeah. And really beautiful, everything in it is great. Look at the rock and the way the trees are. And there's a naked woman in the middle of it. He never mentions. So he's, like this and that. And you're just going, I mean, I just, by the way, did a picture with him about a few weeks ago up in Canada. Mm-hmm. He's great. He's the best.
There's something about him. He's so
naturally
likable.
funny and doesn't try. He's just naturally funny.
We had Phil Hartman,
unlike yourselves.
was sort of a doppelganger.
I try hard.
I'm sorry. What did I say?
I love it. We had Phil Hartman was kind of like that. He would get into the specs of an Evinrude motor way more than show business and his plane and his boat and just a hobbyist like Dan.
I miss him. He was great, Phil.
Yeah.
What did he die of? I forgot.
It's a long story. We'll
That's good
save
enough.
that for part 2.
Bullets.
Love.
Well, yeah.
Oh boy, you're right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Heavens to Betsy.
That was a rough one.
So Danny's the genius. Michael's the best writer. Mm-hmm. And you're friends with Paul Simon. He's pretty good.
Paul.
Yeah, Paul
great.
Simon.
The shorter one.
I don't know how he's coming up.
Come on, Paul.
It's like Stuart
Sing
Little.
a little tutu.
He's doing a Stuart Little on the show. But that first year, you're loaded up. You fucking go out there and crush it. You're on SNL. It's great. Can't get any huger. Cover Time magazine said you're the funniest guy in America. And
What? Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear that
Christ.
You
Really?
Maybe it was
I
Penny
gather
Saver.
you blew up on that show.
Yeah.
First year. You
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to see my cock?
That's 3 questions from now.
Again?
I'm sorry. So sorry.
Hey, I said again. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
getting
good.
used to your frequency. Again. We got it's like, would you like to see my cock? Is my new favorite line. We've done 60 episodes, some 200 hours, and that's my singular
That's it.
favorite
Right there.
line. Chevy Chase, would you like to see my cock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might do good with your. He's got merch. If you have merch, that's a good one.
Well, that's
Let's merch.
You need merch.
Merchandise. We put it
Janie,
on a
listen to
T-shirt.
this.
We monetize it. Chevy Chase, would you like to see my cock? We sell it and give you a little bit.
No, I'm telling you could do merch. You could do T-shirts that just say.
What about this?
Is that yours?
Okay, it says
Oh, it is.
I made it up.
Okay, good.
Jesus Farmers.
That's what shirt says.
We're looking to sell billions of them.
Well,
Because,
what's it
look,
about to you?
Nothing. It's just shit.
Oh, okay. It's just juxtaposing 2 words that don't. Yeah, Jesus
In a
Farmers.
sense, yes.
Yes.
I don't know if you have time to explain it to everyone.
Big eyes, lean forward. I'll do the play-by-play for the audience.
You could have a shirt that just says, "This is crazy. This is crazy."
Anyway, so
No, you have to answer.
is that
You have to answer one question this hour.
okay.
That's merch, guys. Scribble these down. This
Chevy
is
held
crazy.
his hat over his
I'm
eyes and
telling you.
pretended that then David was
What are
revealed.
you describing it?
I think it's funny,
I
and
thought
I
this was
wanna-
being filmed.
We're
No,
filming
it's not.
it, and
It's
it's
not,
going to be a
actually.
Broadway show. Unfortunately, you're being played by John Hamm.
I don't know.
on an Apple box.
I think I know who that is. And somebody mentioned that we looked alike or something.
Well, he just did
Fletch.
Fletch. He did a remake.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm ripping my notes into confetti, but I will try a few more. Hold on.
That was good.
Love Spies Like Us. I'm just going to say
You're
things
just
I
going
like.
to jump around. And
The buddy movies are unreal. There's too many to mention, but obviously, how many vacations did you do? Not we. Did you?
17.
17.
8
It
movies.
feels like it.
8 movies and 9 actual vacations, right, Janie? How many vacations? No,
4
4 movies, but how many if you add your vacation?
Yeah, let's
You
ask
have
Janie.
that backwards. It's
Whatever happened to Randy Quaid?
4 vacations. Randy Quaid?
Yeah, well, what's he up to?
Well, he lives in prison. No,
I'm just kidding.
no, he's wonderful.
He's an eccentric. He was
lives
great.
with his wife. Is Canada, Nathan? I just spoke to him. Yeah. Unfortunately, now I can speak to Randy. You see, I called Randy. I hadn't spoken to him in 40 years or something, and I just couldn't. I wanted to call him and talk. Yeah. Chevy, nice, and I lied about that. We're going to do another vacation.
Oh my God, he must have shit his
what
pants.
could I say to him?
How did you?
I called out of the blue, and you haven't done shit. That's not right. So I lied, and I'm sorry, Randy.
Oh my God!
So we might do another vacation.
He's doing an episode of Doomsday Preppers right now.
Doomsday Preppers?
That's where they live in a bunker.
He's the president of Montana Freeman, I think.
Doomsday Preppers Farm.
Hey, man.
Okay.
They're listening in.
Nice.
Next. Okay.
Next. Keep going.
I want to talk about Three Amigos because Martin Short and Steve Martin and you were so likable. And when that movie, I told Lauren that it's gotten shinier and brighter.
He what? Yeah.
Well, it was a hit, but then now it's like a cult thing. They don't make kind of funny movies anymore. Have you noticed that? Just those type of just funny.
Yes.
But what do you think of Martin Short? Is he talented, or what do you think?
I'm so damn funny.
He's maybe the funniest. He's up there.
I know.
Yeah. Is that some kind of
that's how big his dick
phallic reference?
That's all I can say.
Chevy, hold.
Well, it's three guys, different senses of humor, jammed in a movie. It's got to take some finessing to make it work. It worked great.
It was amazing. Remember your chapstick moment? That was on the horse.
Yeah.
You made
that
such
was winged.
Oh, for sure.
You could tell.
For sure.
Yeah.
First, there's what Marty has sand coming out of his mouth.
Yes. He spits the sand.
I don't know what Steve had.
I don't know. His water was gone or something.
Yeah. And then I'm there like.
Yeah, you're showering.
My horse.
It was
hideous.
Yeah, it's great. Like a silent film.
I love that scene. But I think one of my favorite things is, do you have anything besides Mexican food?
Yes.
In the restaurant in Santa Poco, where the fuck we were.
Where were you? Where did you shoot it?
New Mexico? I don't know.
Mexico.
Arizona?
Mexico.
Oh, in
Arizona?
Mexico.
No, New Mexico.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Only you would know that, sweetie. My wife, Janie Chase.
We're turning it into the interview with her. Because
it's fun to. We haven't had a clear answer who can speak truth to power about everything. I remember Lauren saying, I think it was John Landis. He was like frustrated with the cut, and he always refers to comedians as the monkeys. It's great to shoot all the townspeople, but you should really spend some time on the monkeys. And that was you three. But he says that to all of us.
Oh,
we're the monkeys. Here's something that Lauren said.
Said monkeys.
Did Lauren ever say this to you, Chevy? Because Lauren has a way of like taking big issues and making them. He said about funny people, and there's funny people, and he says there's only 900 of us on the planet, and it's like a perfect
900.
I know it was such a funny specific number that I kind of went, did he figure it out? There's 3 in Portugal. There's 7
less in Russia.
Ukraine has maybe a mime now because the president is a monkey.
That's right.
Oh, you mean a comedian? Right. Okay. Right. Sorry. We love Lauren.
I don't want to do anymore. You're too funny.
No. You're making me funny because you're funny.
He's unpleasant, but you're funny.
I know my place.
Well, I'm going to write that down. You're funny on a T-shirt.
And
the cock one and
David's unpleasant.
I'm going to ask a normal question. Did you meet Lauren in line at a Monty Python movie? If so, which one?
Good.
I did. Would you suck your straw again that way?
I know. I'm trying to get everyone worked up.
Because Chevy's not wearing any pants.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Was it Holy Grail?
Yes. Yeah, it was. And I remember Lauren
Can I cut
Well,
in?
actually, I don't remember him. I'm sorry.
Did he cut in line, or did you actually?
Did you plan that ahead of time, or did it happen live in real time?
See, that's me.
I remember Lauren. and
That's
then
why
long
you guys
pause.
never got this far.
No.
We didn't.
Wait!
I looked at your 19 hit movies
Jesus.
and your
Oh, yeah.
Academy
I agree.
Award.
I cannot argue that.
We
it's
cannot argue
unbelievable.
your IMBD. Is that what they call it? You are legendary. And I told him when we came through the door that it was.
Does
him
this
and-
bother you?
Chevy,
Wait.
Chevy has his face on the side of
this
the
bother
mic.
Chevy's doing a handstand.
I'm loving this. Hosted SNL 8 times and had 4 vacation movies. Discuss.
I did not host it 8 times.
You didn't? Fucking Wikipedia. 5? You're the 5.
No, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because Lauren, that prick, Lauren, I needed to host it. I hadn't been seen much, and I was getting closer to death.
Sure.
And
Are you alive?
no. And,
This is a hologram.
I asked him. He said, "Chevy, you've hosted it 5 times." Like,
Like that's enough?
well, fuck you and your big mouth. I mean, what? Come on. I could have hosted it 6.
Keep going, yeah.
And you stalled out at 5?
That was it.
And now you're in the 5-timers club.
Yep.
I've only hosted at 3. David?
2.
2. There's no club for us.
Well, that's 5 together if you do together.
Okay, we should come together. That'll be the next shtick.
Come together.
On the
Yeah.
50th.
Chevy is a
Right, no.
first ballot Hall of Famer, but I'm going to try to get
Like
some
you
votes
start as
for
you're all,
SNL.
you
What
start
was
with
the
Dan
Hall of Fame?
Aykroyd.
What?
It means on SNL, they're just obviously right in the Hall of Fame of SNL, no matter what.
We think in sports. Do you like
No
sports, Chevy?
arguments.
Huh?
We think of sports metaphors. Do you like sports?
Are you a sports guy?
Like what? You're my starting
Did
5.
you say spores?
Sports.
Janie?
I like
Janie.
spores.
Janie, get in here.
Maybe Janie should pull up a chair and just sort of.
Another way to put it:
You want to get Janie down here?
if you're creating a sketch team for a television show, I would
yeah.
start with you
Yeah.
at Update, and I would put Dan Aykroyd in there, and Bill Murray, and basically the whole first cast.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Well, he wasn't in the first Billy.
Billy came a little later.
Yeah,
did
he was in
like 3
I
years.
think he's from.
Replaced.
He was in Chicago, killing people.
Oh, he.
Right, Billy, because you're both 6'4". Lauren, we'd like someone as tall as Chevy, and then they brought in Bill. You're both giants.
Yeah,
Now,
Yeah.
Gilda Radner, she's just a magic person on
I
camera.
know. Is
Yeah.
she still around?
That's all right.
It's okay.
Come on, it's pretty bad.
that's pretty
It's pretty
tame.
bad.
No.
No,
What?
I loved Gilda.
I've said things privately that would make your hair stand.
Apparently, I'm not being private.
Exactly.
This is
That's
going.
where the microphone
This is our
comes
first
in.
live podcast. It's all over Europe and
It's
East Asia.
out. Everything's out there.
No, anything can be
No.
cut, so you can say anything.
Yeah. Who are your favorite SNL people? Do you over the years? I know you
Gilda
probably don't
is
watch.
one.
Gilda for sure. Yeah.
Danny, John, even though, and he's dead.
Phil, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yep.
God, that
Who would
was,
you put
wasn't
in
that the worst thing in the world? John dying.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a tough one.
Janie and I were in our house out here,
Yes.
an earlier house. Mm-hmm. It was on the door, and you're not supposed to really actually get into the area because other people live here. Anyway, I opened the door and there's like 8 journalists. Chevy, what do you think about John dying? I mean,
No.
it was hideous.
Yeah.
That's how you found out.
I said, "Great." No, it literally just blew our minds
Yeah.
to hear it. On the other hand, it wasn't that surprising given his proclivities and may I say propensities. And now, pigtail.
And peculiar picadillos. I was trying to think.
Picadillo.
Picadillos.
Picadillos.
Yes. Well, we're a family on Saturday Night Live. We're all connected. And
Don't you wish?
I'm not that I was looking, but what is your rank on the all-time? Are you on the top 5? Like Rolling Stone did something. Did you check your number? I think I was 9.
I think I was 10.
10, right behind me.
I think you
No
you beat me
fucking
out.
way. This little
I'm gonna
prick.
write that down.
Wait a minute. Was
No, I
I
doubt
10?
it.
Janie, do we remember seeing this? We don't read.
There
the-
were lots of polls. That was just. I remember Steve Martin saying they just throw it up against a wall.
I think Jan Winter was 2.
They also do polls with some people out of order, so people argue about it.
Okay.
That's what I've found in my travels. I got a question for Chevy.
You do this, both of you, right?
We do.
I keep thinking I have hair. So I'm doing
You
this
keep
all the
rubbing
time.
it?
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
It's starting to come in.
I dropped my. You. No, this morning I was in the bathroom doing this. And I'm showing Janie, this is what I do.
Just balance it. That's not a bad
I had
idea.
hair
Yeah.
once, but now I'm.
Dude,
just,
you're a movie
Well,
star.
that's what Jerry Seinfeld said to Lauren. He goes, I had hair when I needed it, like during the sitcom. And then he lost it all,
Like right after.
not lost it, basically at 50. But as soon, when he was on the sitcom, I had it when he needed it. When you had it when you needed
I
it.
got it. But what's he doing now, Jerry Seinfeld?
Counting his money. Yeah. No, he likes to do stand-up.
I saw him the other night
he
at the,
worked on a
Improv.
Pop-Tart bit for 5 years, and now he's making an animated. I'm not kidding.
I believe you.
Yeah, he is the most scientific, and if you're around him and he hasn't done his hour alone in a room with his comedy notes, he starts getting anxious.
Really?
I've got to get to my notes.
I hope he's not listening.
It took him a while to
he's
crack that
brilliant.
Pop-Tart
Watching
bit.
this.
He's one of the best.
He cracked
stand-ups.
the code in that
Sure,
bit.
now he's one of the best.
No, Jerry's one of the best. I saw him 2 weeks ago. We were at the Improv, and he came in, did a set. Great, wall to wall. He goes, "I'm trying new stuff," and didn't seem new. It was so good. He knows.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. Chevy, we can take. Don't worry, my parts will be cut out
Sounds
later.
like Julian Lennon.
No, this is a compliment. You were on the Tonight Show, huge star, and then you were maybe you guest hosted. Would you ever want to have been the host of the Tonight Show after Johnny left, or no?
Oh, no.
Because they said that you were one of their favorite.
No, I think people wrote that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just think of who wrote it.
And then people like me read it.
Truman
I'm
Capote.
fucked. I can't remember.
It was
No, let me
Truman
see.
Capote.
It was
Oh, NBC executives referred to you as the first potential successor. But it seems like you were doing so many movies you wouldn't want to do that. Like, of course. But that was a huge compliment to say you'd be the best to take over.
I guess so. Who said it?
I don't
Ed
know. I'm just
McMahon.
making shit up at this
Thank
point.
you. Thank you very much, Ed.
You are
also-
correct.
Can you do Ed, too? No.
No, sir. Not really. Phil Hartman or Dan Aykroyd did the best ad. He did.
He did a good Ed.
He did a
McMahon.
great ad, and every time he spoke, it was funny. And Johnny just set him up.
Oh, God.
Because Johnny's references were not very current.
he goes-
You know, reminds me of the old Pall Mall cigarettes. Old reference, lost on younger.
Oh, Pell Mell.
Pall Mall.
Reminds
Pall
me of the
Mall.
old Pell Mell cigarettes. Where?
I
Did
don't
you
know where
just
that
make
came-
that up now?
Yeah,
Do you like them?
I like Dana.
I like David.
Let's
I like
move on.
you, Chevy,
Yeah.
more than I like David at this point.
We're trying to win
You're
you over, but
festive.
we're running out of time.
No, we've won. He's won me over. You hosted the Academy Awards
Whoa.
twice.
Yeah.
A lot of work or fun? You all right?
Oh, sorry. No, it's
I just
not
heard your sciatica
the,
pop.
the honest thing is,
Go ahead.
it's fun. You know, you don't have to do shit really. You just come out. Everybody who has
Applause.
to like announce what the next and
Yeah.
the screenplay and you know that shit. They're all fucking crazy, scared, and that they won't get their lines right that are right there, fucking right. And for me, I don't have to have that. I just have to be me, as it were. I think the very first one I hosted, Jack Nicholson was,
He was
sitting
always
in the front
there.
row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And first
What'd you say?
First thing as I came back, the first thing I said was, "Quiet down, Jack." Just mindless. But then the camera's on him, you know. It's just,
Right. Well, I think if you were having fun, it's going to translate.
Yeah.
Pryor and I did it together.
Together. Oh,
remember?
that's great.
Yeah, and he went out before me. The mic. He said, "This was the first thing he said. No black man has ever won anything." Isn't that brilliant?
Oh,
Anything.
Oh, they had that famous sketch. Well, it was first year, famous sketch with you and Pryor,
Oh, that one.
the job interview. It's great.
that was, yeah.
One of the
Very,
best.
very adult.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
We all know the sketch. We don't have to say anything else. Okay.
Thanks a lot, tick face.
Well, I said it was great. I think we can't
I'll
talk
go
about it
for
that
it because
much.
we have editing capabilities at all times.
Ticks on his face.
Ticks on us.
No, don't look at your watch,
No,
Chevy.
I thought he was coming down to say.
No, you have
people.
3.5
I could
more
tell a
hours.
Richard Pryor story, but I don't
Oh,
know
go
if I
ahead.
want to take Chevy's
Please.
From
time.
moving.
Do.
Okay, I'll say as fast as I can.
I read from moving, by the way.
No, before that, I was a waiter at the Holiday Inn, and I waited on Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Because he was playing this theater. And I brought him a Denver omelet. And when I took it away, I was very nervous. He looked at me and said, "Whoever made that omelet can suck my dick." And I never knew if that was a positive or a negative. It could have gone either way. 10 years later, I'm in a movie with Richard moving, and I had to know. So at lunchtime, I'm sitting next to Richard. I took a bite of a cheeseburger, and I said, "Whoever made this cheeseburger can suck my dick." And he goes, "You must like that cheeseburger."
Oh boy.
That was the Richard Pryor bit.
I like it.
Yeah, there's a little math to it.
Dean, I'm sorry, but you should work on the voice for Richard.
Well, I haven't done it in a while. It's a substitute voice for now. Hi, I'm Richard Pryor.
I remember Richard doing the show, hosting first time. Mm-hmm. Like the second host, I think, maybe second show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. No, anyway,
Applause for
that's
accurate facts.
Well, what did you think when you first saw him?
Wait, I'm trying to remember why I started that. Now
Well, I
You
was
just want to
doing my
brag that you
acting
remember
now.
he
I
hosted
have
the
a little
show.
pain in my heart.
That's all right.
It's okay.
He's on the
Chevy
floor.
is oxygen.
No, was
I'm waiting.
Richard huh?
Oh, Janie, please.
Okay, do you have it? Are
Yeah.
you going to remember? Okay.
Yeah.
I should have told you guys this ahead of time. February last year, Chevy had heart failure
Cool.
and was on.
Cool.
Well, I'm channeling you now.
I never
Applause.
noticed it.
Basically, he was rather out of it for a while. And so he lost some memories. They're kind of coming back. But,
Okay.
things like when you ask.
Why don't you share this with them
Before that.
and the radio world?
So
It seems like your memory is pretty coming back at this
Yeah,
point
yeah,
to me.
it's-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's
But
better and better. But
I'm
just so you know.
Sorry about heart failure.
sorry.
That
Like
was
that he did
I'm here with David Spade and Dana Andrews.
Oh, right. Well,
Dane Andrews. I was named after him.
Well, you were?
Yeah.
Oh God. So Richard,
yes. See?
he's trying to.
You got us back on track. Look at that.
Yeah, he's trying to compare white people and black people. It's like a stand-up, and he says, white people get all red like that if they see a snake. They get all frightened and jump away. Black people just go snake. It was great.
Well, it's just his timing.
Snake.
Yeah. He's
I love him.
he's the best stand-up.
Yeah.
I think his Long Beach special was just phenomenal. Anyway, David,
Any favorite? Your friends with Norm? You were friends with Norm Macdonald?
Yeah.
He's a good update guy. He was great, right?
Oh, he's just great. Yeah.
Yeah, he does great.
I
shit.
thought he did it. Yeah. I didn't think anybody else did it very well, but I thought he did brilliant.
Yeah, he pushed it
'cause
pretty far.
He just went right for the dirt.
Yeah, he went for the jugular every time. Which
Yeah, there weren't any. It's like I did it because I was interested in politics. I read the New York Times. Not him. He just goes and just throws like a dirty word in there or something. It's fuck
this
my
is very dangerous
goddamn
studio.
nail.
yeah, he did a lot of that OJ stuff. You have a classic Norm?
Oh,
It was always some turn by Norm, but he probably was influenced by you as far as being
sure, everybody
dangerous or being edgy or.
I don't think so. I don't know.
was. Well, after you doing update, that's not the one to beat, but it's like that's so good. You go, how do I do it where I don't look so pale in comparison?
Well, it was the first one, so people do compare that.
Yeah.
And yeah, but really, it was the best by far. Thank you.
Yeah.
Was that our best question?
I'll tell you a quick joke I heard from Norm on
Good. Norm is always fun. With
this
David.
Norm joke where he goes, my wife, first of all, he's not married. My wife was in a coma and I'm waiting in the waiting room. The
Was
doctor.
in a coma?
This is Norm's fake
Yeah,
joke
yeah,
wife.
yeah,
He
yeah.
goes, I like your good audience in a
Oh,
coma.
you did say coma, didn't
Yeah. So the wife's in a coma. The doctor says, Norm goes, anything I can do? And he goes, well, we found an unorthodox way, some way to get her awake. Oral sex might help. And he goes, oh, yeah? And he goes, well, if you want to. And he goes, yeah, I'll do it. So he goes in there and he comes out and he goes, Doc, it's been 5 minutes and she's choking.
Yeah, that's Norm.
That's a good Norm, yeah. I think he told that to like Conan. Everyone's like, oh,
Hey,
Jesus.
you know,
that guy. Conan just... Okay, next.
Conan.
Is that the redheaded guy?
Yes.
he's very ginger and he's very tall.
He is tall.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Conan. How are you?
Oh, he's shorter than you?
I have to say. I have no idea.
Look at Dana and I are fighting it out down here at 5.
Sorry, my wife's looking at me.
Taller than you.
Divorce me.
She's like,
Well,
I did. You forgot.
Fly on the Wall is taking a turn for. This is very interesting.
She's taking a turn.
Janie, his wife, and now he are engaging in friendly romantic banter.
I got a real question. Did you ever write a script? You're a very funny guy. Did you ever just write a whole one?
No.
Okay, Dana.
I
You
wrote,
sat
I
at-
wrote
you-
many beginnings and stuff, and thoughts.
Yeah.
I got a lot. I wrote every day, but I just couldn't bring myself to writing a whole script.
You probably punch up a lot on the set, though, or add jokes. That's probably...
Sorry, what did you say?
I said you probably punch up when
Dana,
you're on a set. Dana,
no,
you ask
oh,
him
I'm
this
sorry.
question.
When
Go
you're
ahead.
filming on
Ask
the
him if he
set,
punches up.
you probably improvise a lot, punch
Yeah.
up stuff a lot. They probably give you the script ahead of time, like Fletch, and you go, "Not that. I'll do this." That's what I'm assuming.
Okay,
Yeah.
good assumption.
You might be a genius. I'm not.
I don't think so.
It's
That's nice of you to
possible,
say.
though. I
Nice
know
of you
I'm
to
not.
say.
Yeah.
How long of a shoot was... how long was Caddyshack? Everyone's favorite movie from growing up.
How long was it?
Well, how long take you guys? Just was it a short
long was
shoot, like 3
Caddyshack?
or 4 weeks?
What the time?
What's
How
the
When you
long
question?
was
shot,
the
when you
shoot?
shot it, yeah, when you shot it.
Oh, because I was going to say about an hour and a half.
Yeah. You know what's
Sure,
funny?
How long,
Could I-
how long was Caddyshack? Thank you, Dave.
No, what is the running time of Fletch? These are my questions.
He
What
was
did you
a
say?
chess champion. He's into numbers.
Oh,
This
yeah.
guy was an actual state chess champion.
Is that true?
He's into
I
math.
was,
Yeah.
but the smartness has gone away.
King to pawns, knight 4, whatever it is.
What do the pawns do?
The pawn,
Pawns
that's a great
do-
question.
That's like David and I here right now.
Okay, excellent.
Can I
Next.
give you a compliment or as a question?
Are you kidding?
Yes.
I can't wait.
I
Okay.
cannot wait.
I always tell people about because I was watching Caddyshack, and so you and Billy Murray are doing a thing where you're golfing. I think going through the thing.
Yeah.
Bill Murray is in his gopher guy. He's got the funny mouth. He's got the overtly
You have a pool, don't you?
funny character, right?
Yeah.
You play it so Buster Keaton. Your face
So
is
straight.
so straight that you more than hold your own in that scene. And I always go, because I'm always out there dancing and mugging and pushing. You just went nothing and
Yeah.
created this incredible comedic dance with Bill Murray. Now you talk.
Go. Go.
Who?
Chevy is wiping a tear. No, but
Done.
do people mention that scene in
no,
your style of silent film comedy when you want to do
Well,
it?
we did wing it. By the way, and it was in Bill's caddy shack.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah.
When we first shot it, when we were ready to go, Bill had put on the wall there like 8 pictures of naked women, like with their legs spread, from Hustler or something. And Landis says, I don't think so. And so Bill just collected them all, just one underneath, one of, I don't know, a girl like this or something, maybe like this. Anyway, so we start going, and he's just trying to get me the whole time, to crack me up.
Sure.
And he goes, "You have a pool, don't you?"
You know.
We have a pool and a pond. Pond would be good for you.
Yeah.
And if you look at this film, he never cracks, right?
Yeah.
In
Right.
that one, he went just a little bit.
Just a teeny bit? I'm going to look at that
Oh,
tonight.
it's a beauty.
I love it.
You'll see it.
Was that like kind of a tracking shot? How long would they let you guys go before they'd yell cut? Did they just follow you?
I don't know.
It seemed very spontaneous.
I think it couldn't have been just one shot. I think they covered each of us, so I think it was cut.
But they're smart to keep that because that's probably maybe on a wide shot or maybe your side, and then they just go that we got to keep that one in there.
Yeah,
yeah, that's great.
Wow.
Because
what's your name again?
I'm DS David Spade. SNL 90 to 96.
You're on Instagram. What's your
What's
handle?
your handle?
Okay,
That's good.
Chevy.
Give him one more. We won't beat him up too bad.
Well, I'll just do.
What about Dream Roll?
I've got your dream role. Did you ever aspire? Did you get to do something dramatic and try to get an Academy Award?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Did you get it? We didn't. I don't read the papers.
They don't give them for comedy.
They do not.
And apparently, I'm not going to do any more movies, so my chance is fucked.
I remember when
I'd like to get an Academy Award,
right?
Because I can put it there with my Emmys.
Yes.
Do you have Emmys?
All awards are good.
Oh yeah, you got Emmys the first year.
I have 3 Emmys.
Whoops.
One for writing, and another one for writing.
Writing
and an
and
acting
writing.
one.
Yes.
Is that all SNL first year?
Yeah.
Oh,
By the way, the only year I was on.
yeah. And then
What are you and Janie? Do you and Janie? Because my wife and I bond. There's so much television, I know, but we watch these live streaming shows together at night. Chevy has got something in his ear. Do you guys? What do you guys? Did you watch The Crown? What do you watch?
Well,
You did.
Did you watch Dahmer on Netflix? No, I'm kidding. No, but what do you watch?
No, I went with them. What do you mean? Did I watch it?
I have 2 older brothers, and my oldest brother has been staying with us. And he and Chevy just watched Breaking Bad all the way through.
Oh, what a treat!
And then they listened to the new Thriller album by Michael.
Yeah.
What a dork.
Finally. Hey, got one.
But Breaking Bad was brilliant. That's cool. My wife can't watch. She didn't like. She likes kind of more gentle ones.
He and I don't always like the same things.
Right.
So it's great to have my brother there.
To bridge
Because
the
I can
gap.
have sex with him, too.
What?
It's a good one.
He's just warming up. That's the funny part. You're getting funnier as this
Come
podcast goes on. Come in. Hello, operator. Is Chevy sister?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no, I'm not. You've got me sillier than I've ever been. So, okay, you watched Breaking Bad, but Janie, Chevy, can I talk to her for a second?
Yes.
What was your favorite
Just
streaming
don't
show of the
smell her.
last few years? Did you watch Ozarks? Did you watch
Ozarks? Is that really a show?
Yeah, it's a show.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Chevy?
Jason Bateman.
I started all the streaming stuff with True Blood.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
And
True
he
Blood.
didn't get into it.
Early binging.
Yeah, it's a vampire.
Diverted way back then.
Oh, yeah, she loves that
And then
vampire
Game of
shit.
Thrones and Downton Abbey, but then he did watch all of Downton Abbey with me.
I did like that.
It was very good. I thought it was very funny.
Yes. Wasn't there a character in Downton Abbey? This is very Chevy, a character called Master Bates. There was, right?
Yes.
And then you go, Master Bates.
There
I'm
was?
sorry.
never laughs.
Master Bates.
Oh, that's so
He
funny.
disappears in his room. I mean,
That's fucking
usual.
hilarious.
It's all I got. I don't deal in puns very. That's my best
I
pun.
don't deal
No,
in
but his
puns.
character was Master Bates, right? Yeah. Can't
true?
make that up. Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, it was Mr. But they said
Mr.
it like
Bates. But
that.
they said like
Oh, there you are.
Master Bates goes into his room and makes the most unusual
showing-
sounds.
Shrinking.
This is how the wiener's
Shrinking.
shrinking. He's making.
What's this one?
I don't know. I'm just trying to make you.
Anything.
All right. Any what we've learned today, Dana?
We've learned that Chevy Chase is still the funniest guy in the world.
Very funny.
You have more questions, don't you?
Well, I have, let's do a few more. I sometimes I like to put people when they're young, like 10 years old, movie or TV show that blew your mind around that age, that like kind of, maybe I could be on TV someday.
Yep. Do you mind if I shit on your chair?
Okay, that wasn't.
That's how good the question.
Top 5 answers on the board.
Tom Hanks answered it. How about you? Did you have a bicycle that you like?
Oh,
Tom
yeah.
Hanks, he's got
the
2
answer-
Oscars.
Oh,
Chevy's older.
I know, that's what I mean.
Sure, tell them that.
Chevy, you might have been watching Roy Rogers or Rin Tin Tin.
No.
Or, no.
The actual answer is Shane. Do you remember that?
The movie Shane.
No, the comic book Shane.
Well, I thought it was a TV show question, but go ahead.
Oh, it was a TV show
Shane
question?
blew your mind then as a kid. You see it in the theater, or
I did. I went with my dad.
okay, and you were like
He
6,
passed.
7.
What?
That's all right. We all
Passed
do.
away.
During the previews?
Kaylee!
Kaylee, finally.
Is
You know,
the cat
that's-
okay?
This is my daughter.
I know. She's
Hey, Kaylee.
Hi, guys.
Hi. We've been having a really good time with your dad. He's hysterical.
Are you here to save us?
Yeah, I'm here to say.
We've asked him about his favorite movie when he was a kid. Basically, he said Shane in 1953. It was an intense movie.
Good find. Yeah.
Yeah. Jack Palance was the bad
And?
guy. Mm-hmm.
Rick, who is the star?
He
Ernest
was
Borgnine.
There you are. Jack.
He was vertically challenged, broad shoulders like a gymnast, famous movie star. Look him up. I can't believe I'm spacing on.
Heather, look him up.
No, he's so
Who is it?
famous.
Wait.
He was the star of Shane.
Shain. Kidding, honey.
Jack
Wait.
Palance.
Jack Palance, by the way,
Jack-
is the way he pronounces it.
Carradine.
No,
David
no.
Carradine.
No.
It's 1953.
Kung Fu, babe.
Alan Ladd, ladies and
These people are old.
funniest person you ever met. 2 seconds.
And Sam Worthy. Sam,
Sam Warnick.
I'm not finished.
Kennison?
Sam Kinison? Yeah, he's hilarious.
A perfect day.
Wait, did you really ask me?
I did ask you. Yeah.
You want me to answer?
You're the funniest person you ever just met. Like, whoa.
Jonathan Winters.
Wow.
That's a great answer.
Like it. Like
Yeah.
it.
He is kind of supernaturally
Doesn't
whatever.
get enough attention, Jonathan Winters, and he was great.
I'll say.
I
My dad used to talk about him all the time and made me watch it.
had a hematoma in my leg from hitting it on a table, and I was in a lot of pain. This will come around.
It's coming around. I'm waiting.
So I'm playing a theater in Santa Barbara, and I'm really in pain. It's a 1,000-seat theater, and the stagehand goes, "Hey, kid, Jonathan Winters is out there tonight." So the whole time it was in my head, like, this is not as good as Jonathan Winters.
Yeah.
And then he did an hour backstage. It was just hysterical.
He did?
Yeah, he's like, hey, but all the voices and everything.
What was that?
He would,
Your
John,
impression of John?
Yeah.
well, we're going
Yeah,
in
what's
deep.
that one?
He did one of the. He did one of these
again.
kind of things. We're gonna get you crushed the wall. He did all his little voices like Robin Williams.
I
kind
should
of.
be interviewing you.
Well, I do podcast this for myself as well. It's
Do you mind if I lick
called
this?
Chevy Times.
Did you ever meet Farley in the old days?
Chris Farley?
Yes, sir.
I did, and Lauren had asked me to talk to him about the drug issue.
Chevy, if you could talk
Really?
to Chris, might help. Might not, but might.
I like your Lauren.
It's kind of quiet.
Will you do a little Lauren first?
Yes.
It's that thing of like if you could talk to Chris, about drugs, it might be like a really good thing. I love his.
So I
rhythms.
did talk to him.
And how'd it go?
Well, he didn't have enough drugs for both of us, so no.
See, that's a classic. These have been landing all day for me. I mean,
They're hitting for me.
they're hitting. Once you get into his comic frequency, it's like it's just fun. Greg is laughing very hard. You wished you'd stayed longer at SNL. I kind of wish I did a couple more seasons. Do you
Christ, I feel like I'm here longer than SNL.
You never set up again. You can. We can adjourn anytime.
Actually, I do. Thank you.
Yes.
Actually,
We're
I
now
did.
man and wife.
Yeah, I do. That's funny too.
You did like 40 shows, huh?
Well, how tall are you? Thank you.
5'8" and a
Now
half
I
on a
just-
good day.
So you.
Yeah, no, actually, the answer to your question, I forgot the fucking question.
You could have done movies during the summer and stayed on the show.
Oh, I would have loved to have stayed, and I really mean that. I mean, I left because of a girl. I had a picture of the girl, and I kept saying, I'm gonna marry this girl. Look at you, beautiful. And Lauren kept saying, no, she isn't. and
No, she
and Doug Kenny from the National Lampoon became one of my best friends. Actually, became my best friend, and that's it. That's all I got.
I love
Did
it.
he write Animal House? Did he write Animal House?
Doug, yeah,
Doug, yeah.
he was one of the writers. I think that Harold stepped in there too.
Harold Ramis.
It was always what's his name who wrote these things, the book or the thing, John.
Was it Landis? No.
Jonathan.
John Hughes.
John Hughes.
Yeah.
But for instance, with what's the movie I did with Harold?
Vacation, honey.
Right, thank you.
Vacation. Yeah.
Chevy and Harold completely rewrote it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You have to rewrite him, Hughes.
Oh, I see. Because he's not really. He was not comedic like you guys. He
You're
would
not
be-
Jewish.
Oh.
Well, if he gives you a blueprint of a great movie, you can fix it.
Chevy,
Adapt it.
during the podcast, puts his hands up like he's holding a loaf of bread and looks at
Show you
it.
how big everyone's
bread,
dick
that's
A
is.
loaf of bread. Show it. His,
How is
Guys,
That's quite a loaf.
I know.
It's quite a loaf.
Honey.
Ed wants a slice.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
And blabby.
What is the
wait,
mic
I got
drop
one.
question that will blow Chevy's mind?
I have a not that. Well, I was going to say, in Seems Like Old Times, Grodin was an unsung hero. He's so good. Charles Grodin.
Chuck Grodin.
Chuck
yeah.
Grodin.
He is.
Yeah, excellent.
That
Excellent.
doesn't get enough attention. That was such
Well,
a
I
great
gave
movie.
him. I didn't give him enough time. You're right.
Yeah.
Neither did Goldie. Really, nobody did. You're right. He just doesn't get enough attention from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
What about Dudley Moore?
Let's bring him out.
What about him?
He was in that movie, right? I mean,
Oh, he was?
Did you guys date briefly, or?
Well, not recently, but
But he was incredibly charming and funny.
oh,
and,
Dudley was
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a great Dudley Moore story. Can't tell it. I forgot what it was.
Hey, man, you're doing great.
Chevy's
I love this.
name is
It's,
Cornelius Crane, and his
Cornelius Crane Chase.
grandmother gave him the nickname Chevy.
That's
My
correct.
nickname is Cornelius.
Cornelius Crane Chase. Can
My
you say
middle
that?
name is Chevy.
I saw that Cornelius Chain Craze. There's so many all these Chase
Cornelius
things.
Chain Craze.
Chevy Chase. There's a street Chevy Chase. Who came first?
There's
The
a
street.
town. There's lots of
There's
Chevy
a lot
Chase,
of Chevy
Maryland,
Chases.
and Chevy Chase here.
What can I say?
Lauren said Chevy.
Chevy.
Chevy was an unbelievable talent, and he had the name Chevy, which sort of leaned to the tape. That's a great name. to
That's
have.
what he said?
Yeah.
And he had the name Chevy?
Yeah, he said the name Chevy.
Lauren's very funny.
It's hysterical. Chevy's such a great name.
And Lauren, we're singing your praises, and Lauren goes, "In the timing, you have to remember the timing of you." There you go. Compliment
you
number
do a great
2.
Lauren. You really do.
I love Lauren. He has such a wonderful rhythm. It's
Yeah,
just
I know.
it's
You're
good to be in that
absolutely right.
world. You know, it's
he didn't like you very much. Right?
No, that's what we're getting at.
That's not that. No, Lauren and I love each other. A little more wider, please. You'd be surprised. Are you a shower or a grower?
By the way, nobody knows what this means. Only you made something up in your mind.
That's true.
I know what it means.
I don't know. It's
Janie.
shocked look on Chevy's
I
face
don't
because
believe you
his
said
wife
that.
Janie said, "I know what it means."
Well,
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Oh, we're done?
I
Well,
think so.
do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, anything for us? Who are we?
We're narcissists. We're not really good at this.
All right.
All right.
We're narcissists.
Yeah,
We're
we
not
want
very
it to
good
be
at this.
about us.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Fasten your.
Buckle up.
That's it.
I was going to say, put your hands a little closer together.
I'll say. Does this bother you? Well, no. It's the whole thing now. It's about a cock.
No,
See, I'm
it's
not
not.
thinking. I'm thinking plants.
Oh,
You know, wide plants.
Yes, totally. No, this is not a cock show.
No. It's not even a good show.
We never really said it's not even a good show.
No, the bad. This is what the kids love. When it's bad, it's good. We had to
funny.
go kill. Here, when it's bad, it's great
Listen,
because it's authentic.
it's fucking
Awkwardness, the
chaos.
kids love it. Right, Kaylee?
It's amazing.
Yes.
Love the awkwardness.
Organized
and
chaos.
spontaneity. See, Kaylee knows.
See, my wife and daughter, they're funnier than you guys.
They're very cute together. Are you close or are you at war? Oh.
I'm kidding.
See, Chevy's daughter. She goes,
She says,
Haley, how
the whole
dare!
family. The whole
Says
family's
the
got game.
unexpected answer, which is good.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys have just turned around now and are talking to my wife and daughter when you have me here.
We
Well,
stopped
they're
taping.
they're nice to look at, and you're. Oh, I'm doing you now.
Oh my gosh, you can't share the shades.
That's
No.
nice. I like that.
We'll wrap it up
What's
by
this?
saying Chevy.
Oh,
is-
just trying to keep the. When I turned 53, my neck said "fuck you." Just my neck went.
53. Are you that old?
No, I'm 78.
Where are you? Where I am.
Remember Route 66?
Where are you
I'm
in the
that
grave
area.
meter?
Remember the old show Route 66?
Oh, I thought you said Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
And speaking of Biden, no, I can't parts of Caribbean. Pop.
Is comedy too PC? I don't know if you see a lot of comedies anymore, but is it too PC?
You mean like movies or TV show? I've never watched sitcoms ever. I just
Not my favorite. Although
They're still pretty straight down the middle.
Seinfeld was pretty great.
Yeah.
But mostly I don't. I like dramas.
I thought Seinfeld was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Right. It's unfortunate that he's nowhere.
It got
now.
no syndication. No,
nothing.
once he walked off, there was no
That's
money.
it.
Yeah. No back end.
They
We
said
got
you
to
could
get a picture of that so they know what we're seeing.
Chevy was
So,
By the way, I just made it up here.
I love it.
I like it.
Finish this sentence. What people don't know about Chevy is
That's a good one.
He has
I know it's
something's happening. I'm thinking.
What people don't know about Chevy
Greg,
is
come on down. Why not ruin it?
Greg is helpless.
Wait, what was the question again?
What people don't know about Chevy is
He's an amazing jazz pianist.
that's right. You're a musician and you're a great pianist.
Thank you, sweetie. That's so nice of you.
Do you still practice and play?
You have perfect pitch.
You have perfect pitch.
I
You
do.
play the drums too. I wonder if you
I
and
was a drummer for Steely Dan.
Holy
What,
shit.
Did you know
really?
that?
Why did you go into comedy?
In college, we started.
Damn.
And it came out. Yeah.
So you really can drum. I'm kind of a pretend drummer. Well, if you're holding
we
down
were
Steely
we were
Dan.
jazz oriented.
Okay.
So that always is a help. I mean,
Yeah.
I say, you
Yeah.
you got to have independent coordination, which apparently you've never had.
My father just came into the room.
I
no,
want-
but who's your favorite jazz drummer? I mean,
Father's awful. God.
Daddy? No, Daddy, come on.
No.
We had our childhoods. Us fun folk.
Tough dads.
We usually have some little bit of trauma. Poke the bear. Do you want me? Is there anybody you want me to do or sign off on?
Yeah.
Any person? I'll try.
Okay. Can you do him?
No, I'm
Hey,
boring.
buddy.
Yeah. There's not much there. That's all I am. Movements and
It's a thing he does as
I have one last question. Is Christy Brinkley that ugly in person?
Yeah. How about that? Huh?
She's unreal. This is crazy. Isn't that was from?
Harold made that up where I go, what? She's in, Beverly says, is that what you want, honey?
She's on the by the
She's in the
pool
bed.
over there.
And I go,
Yeah.
no, she's ugly. Christy fucking Bleak.
I know.
No, honey, she's ugly.
She was in that movie probably 5 minutes. Everyone remembers it forever. Great.
That was all those movies. That was so
Great,
fun,
great.
funny.
Anyway.
Yeah, Chevy, you're the greatest. I'm going to compliment you. One of my favorite guests on this podcast. And
Thank
the
you for
funniest.
coming to my
And,
humble mansion.
You
guys-
made our podcast shinier and brighter by gracing us with your presence today.
That's it.
No, honestly,
and all-
this is more fun than I've had.
Since this morning?
Today?
That's it.
Since you were at 7-Eleven?
It's fun to be sincere and put a comedian and
I was
watch him
being-
squirm.
I know, it's gross.
I love you, Chevy, because you're funny.
Yeah.
Now squirm.
You guys are very funny too,
Thank you.
You made us.
Dana.
No, we don't get hurt. We're comedians. We play hurt. We've been attacked on stage. I've been attacked on stages in clubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bombed worse than you could
Do
possibly.
you still play the Comedy Store?
Sometimes.
Oh boy.
I'm playing. Are you guys going back east? I'm
Do you
playing
really? Have you really played there?
in the Comedy Store? Yes, and I can get you in if you come with me.
Well, our
Well,
daughter-
I could get you. I'm one of the house pianists.
Oh, you are?
Oh,
Female
yeah.
house pianist.
Where in the OR?
Yeah.
she is.
Oh, it's great. That's actually a big job. That's great.
I was working in the booth previously.
Did your dad teach you? Did you pick it up because you saw your dad playing?
Yeah, definitely.
So Chevy's daughter, Kaylee, is a pianist at the Comedy Store.
very good. Yeah,
great.
She's
The
very
first
good.
woman to do it. It's breaking barriers. There's still barriers. Like I said that to David a few months ago. I go, there's no woman playing the piano at the store.
None.
What is the problem?
Will you shut up, you little fairy?
You know, I mean, going fairy. What are you from the 40s?
I'm sorry.
I'm telling-
I am.
He's
yeah.
I'm telling you, he's lighting the loafers. I'm telling you.
You little loafer.
Tinkerbell.
You little fairy. Yeah.
All right,
My dad
David.
just said. Okay.
Are we done?
Thank
Well,
you, Chevy.
Once the families come in, that's going to be the
just grab-
highlight of the podcast.
Heather will give you your check, and
A check.
Yes,
She
you'll
already
get a
gave it.
W-2 form that you can fill out. We'd like your.
She already gave me a check.
sir.
Damn.
All right.
Okay.
Bye,
This has been
everybody.
Chevy Chase.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up, flies? What's up, fleas? What's up, people that listen? We want to hear from you and your dumb questions.
Questions, ask us anything. Anything you want.
You can email us at flyonthewall@cadence13.com. All right, here's our first cue.
Okay, all right.
I'll read this first one.
Good.
This is Eliza
That's a good name.
Von Dwingello.
Please, I just want to
Anyone?
say to people this, please use your real name because these funny names like Eliza Von Dingelo, we know it's probably Susan.
Eliza Von Wiener Grabber? Is that how
No,
you
it's
say it?
Dwingelo. Dwingelo.
Is it too late to change it?
Eliza Von Dwingelo.
What are your favorite
Melania,
places
let me tell you.
to do stand-up?
Can you believe what Kanye West said the other day? I'm telling you, Kanye West. He's the only guy who could blow away Trump. I can't believe he said
Oh, yeah, it's
I
crazy.
can't believe he's saying things like you wouldn't believe. Shut up, Donald. I want to have orange juice. Okay.
Is that Melania?
Yeah.
Yeah, why
If
not?
I don't do the impression, you just say it's the impression.
Yeah.
No one can argue with that. All right. What's the question, Dave?
She says, what are your favorite places to do stand-up, past and present? She also throws in love the podcast. That's a good way to get your question picked. Okay. Mine, you probably, I'm going to guess you're going to say Holy City Zoo or Cobb's Pub or something like that.
If I had to say, past, it would be the Other Cafe on Carl and Cole in the Haight-Ashbury. It was a laundromat, made into a comedy club, 60 seats, giant window with freaks walking by. The whole
18
audience could
dryers,
see.
4 washers.
And the first time I ever saw my wife, and I went back there years later with my son, and now it's back to being a laundromat. And it was almost like a Twilight Zone. I was standing over there, and I said, I saw your mom over here, in 1979.
Yes.
So that was it. It was called the Other Cafe. Bobcat went there a lot.
Yeah.
Bob Goldthwait, Paula Poundstone,
Yeah,
Robin would
big
come by.
ones,
What about
Robin.
what was your touchstone? Where did you get good?
I used to
'Cause
love,
you weren't,
my first one was at Chuckles in Arizona. What a hilarious name for a comedy club. They always have
Did
one
you ever
like-
play Sir Laughs a Lot?
I did not. I played Rooster Teeth Feathers. You play Gutbusters or Side Splitters?
This is not a joke. I played
It's
Rib
real.
Ticklers in Minneapolis, and I went there a lot.
So fucking funny.
It was called Rib Ticklers.
They're all real. The Dallas Improv was a favorite growing up. The San Diego Improv was a favorite starting out. And I say the Ryman Auditorium I just did in Nashville was a great
I've done
theater. And I'm looking forward because I do a theater tour now. And so I hit all these. Some of them are just gorgeous old theaters. So I don't know. I still like going up in the store. I didn't go on. I never got an audition there. Louis Anderson helped me get in there. They didn't like me, Mitzi. So I never went in there again. Never stepped foot in the Comedy Store for 20 years. And then Adam Egget.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Got
just
me.
on today.
I like it now.
Eliza, I'm more into the Allegiant Center in Chicago. I like
Ooh.
Staples Center.
I like Staples.
Madison Square Garden's a little small for me right now, but I still think it's got a good.
It's a little snug. But I like Elbow
I'm
Room.
kidding. I kid.
I just played one and at this casino, and I ran into Kid Rock, and I'm like, and he goes, yeah, we're doing this and this. And I got the bus. He goes, we did Upstate, something, and California. I go, oh, I just played a casino. I had to fly to Sacramento and then drive 90 minutes. He goes, that's it. I go, no way. And he goes, yeah. And there's a little like Motel 6, basically like a no-tell motel right next to it. Beautiful casino. But I stayed in the dumpy 2-story where the fans would just follow me in and they walk up the stairs. Picture all the way up the stairs. You know, it's got one person at the desk. Ding. And then they go, oh, is this your room? I'm like, yep, room 8. And then I just go in. They just stand on the other side of my door.
And they're pounding at night.
Yeah, they're like, when should we kill him? In the middle of the night? Should we eat first? So then, but he goes, you played that outdoor one? I go, yeah, it's outdoors because it was 106 and I had a long sleeve shirt on. And they said, are you sure you want to wear that outside? I go, this gig's outside. And they go, yeah. And I go, why do I not know that? They go, it's an amphitheater. I go, is that what that means? Did not know what that meant. Ooh. And then he goes, dude, that place, I did 17,000 there. You played it? I go, don't you dare. Yeah, you starting to get it, Kid Rock?
They just cordon it off, though.
I said it wasn't super packed. I mean, there was a little elbow room between people.
I drove from Vegas to Reno once because I don't like to fly much with Larry Bubbles Brown. And we stayed in this small town, and there were cinder blocks for walls in the motel. Yeah. Cinder blocks. And then the local Yokos knew we were there, and they were in the parking lot. Hey, come on out! You know, but they didn't know where my room was. It was like, you know. Anyway,
but you could hear him.
Road stories. We could hear him. It's scary.
Thank you for that question, and that's your always long answer.
Thank you, Eliza Von Dwingelo.
Ready? 3, 2,
What's up, David? What's our next guest? Who is it?
Our next guest is Smigel.
Robert Smigel. Awesome. Robert Smigel. We're having a writer on. One of the, for many people's money, the best sketch writer of his generation. He's in the conversation for sure. It's one of the best I've ever worked with.
Hall of Famer. First time Hall of Famer.
Yep. Brilliant guy.
Yeah, Smigel used to, he's in charge of so many of the big sketches in the show, and I was always trying to write with him, always trying to get in there and just get my name on a sketch because I know it would always get on because he's so good. He'd write for you a lot and he'd write with you a lot. We had a good collaboration because I was watching Regis. We'll talk about it in the episode, but I just started doing Around the Office, and then he was a great person to partner with, and then he could get the rhythm and make it even better. Same thing with Carson and stuff. So we go through a lot of process on my side of the fence with Robert, and it's really fun. We go through a lot of me begging him to do sketches with me on my side of the fence. But he also went on, he does Triumph, the dog, and he does a lot of great stuff for autism. And he has the Night of Too Many Stars, which is the funniest title. Yes, and he roasts us, basically. Oh, yeah. We won't give it away, but at the beginning of the episode, a certain character that he does that's sort of canine-like gives just basically roasts David and I for 10 minutes. It's pretty funny. I won't say how he does it, but he sort of poops on us. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Dana, this Elvis movie's coming out, not to change gears here. Austin Butler does Elvis. And I'm such an Elvis fan, I'm almost worried to watch it because I want to be really into it. There's a funny Elvis story that we used to joke. When Elvis was such a huge star, which he always was. Yeah. But he's such a stud, and he would leave the studio. He'd have Sonny and Red up front, and they go, Elvis, there's a million girls out front, so throw the coats on them. So he'd lay down in the back seat, and they'd throw the coats on him. And then when they drive out, they'd all look and get around the car, and they wouldn't see him, and they'd leave. Yeah. And he'd get away, and so they wouldn't follow the car. And so in the later days, there was no one there, and Elvis goes, it's pretty crazy out there, and he goes, yeah, throw the coats on them. Isn't that cute? They would still throw the coats on him, and there was no one out there. So he never knew. They better have that in the fucking movie. I always thought, it's been long enough I just thought it interesting. He died in his mansion, okay? And he was on the pot. So I assume a half hour before he died, all you heard if you were in the mansion is someone going, can I get some paper? I need some paper in here. Anybody bring some paper? Wait, he needs toilet paper? Toilet paper. Well, he hasn't pooped yet. That's the problem. Well, maybe he did, but there's no toilet paper. He said, can I get the newspaper to read it? Because I'll be here for 2 hours. The other thing was, like, he would have Colonel Tom go on a private jet with people down to South American cities and bring back young ladies for Elvis, And he had a thing where he'd want them to... hey, let's not give away the first half hour of the movie. Wear a diaper. It was one of his fetishes. What's your name, Consuelo? Jesus. Here's a diaper. Strap that on. These are just all true stories. You can cut these. I'll get arrested. But it'll be great. I ran into Riley Keough the other night.
What a great
the
name.
MTV Awards.
Yeah.
The granddaughter. I didn't put it together, even though I'm the hugest Elvis fan, because I didn't recognize her. So she's sitting next to me before we're going out. I'm presenting an award, and she's presenting the Elvis movie, something about it. And she said it was a great movie. And, you got to trust her. If I was in the Elvis family, I would be so eagle-eyed on that thing. But it's never going to be as cool as the real Elvis. But she's happy, so I'm happy. So
I'm very interested in it just because Colonel Tom Parker, played by Tom Hanks, is in it.
Yeah, I love that.
And he is Dutch, and was a really weird guy, and he's in complete prosthetics.
And
like
Parker took 50%.
The biggest star in the world, Mr. Presley. You thought Colonel Tom would be like, "Hey, everybody, Elvis Presley," but he's like, "Would you like to be a star, Elvis Presley?" I guess he talks like that.
That scare you?
I just don't know. I need a percadam sandwich. Anybody got a percadam sandwich?
50% this motherfucker took of Elvis's shit.
Fit to the very, very end. And I would say
He didn't have great guy syndrome, I'll tell you that, which I do have.
By the way, James Austin Butler plays Elvis Presley, and he also played Tex in One Upon
James
a
Austin Butler.
What's his
That's
name?
the guy in
James
SNL.
Austin Johnson. What is his name?
Austin Butler.
Austin. I was going James Austin Johnson. Hey man, it's a senior
You were
moment.
just thinking of any first names you could link together.
Austin is a very unique name.
It is
first
cool.
or middle. I plead
guy
guilty.
looks cool.
though.
I'm not gonna say anything bad yet. I wanna see it. I think it's gonna be
James
great.
Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Is a cute kid. He played Tex in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was the guy. I'm as real as a donut, motherfucker.
That's your favorite
I saw
movie.
you. You were riding a horsey in
Listen,
that scene.
Not to get away from Smigel, but I'm going to tell you that and this is
Ron
1 minute
Smigel.
left. I did see one of your old favorite movies on the plane of all fucking things. I'd never seen it. 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, really?
You talk about two motherfucking movie stars. Ooh,
I see it every
Robert
year.
Redford, Faye
Dunaway.
She was
What
so
do you,
hot.
What do you want? I just want it to stop.
I love it.
Condor, where are you, Condor?
That brings us back
I'm
to
somewhere.
Robert Smigel.
Robert Smigel from Robert Redford, and that is our tie-in. And we knew we planned this whole thing. Robert Smigel is very funny. He co-executive
still
produced a
listening to
show.
us bullshit about this thing.
That'd be funny if this is the whole episode. We just
And then we go, we never got time for Robert
we
Smigel.
really apologize. We got on an Elvis thing.
Yeah. But it's good. We talk about topical shit, man. That's what's going on in the world. Anyway, here's Smigel.
All the momentum we had with the Lorne impression.
Oh, yeah. And you were saying, Lorne, you did an impression before that. Before Dana
Mark
got there.
McKinney. Mark McKinney did. The only
Kids
person
in the
who
Hall.
did it in my first year was Mark McKinney, and he did like a beautifully accurate Lorne, like a well-observed Lorne, and actually said complete sentences.
Yeah.
And it was very impressive. But then the next year, I just started doing cartoony Lorne on my own. And then I remember going into Dana's office and, I admitting that I sort of do Lorne, like, I want to do the show and looks, I think Dana, and then Dana's like, oh yeah, I do Lorne too. And Dana starts going like, oh, what do you think of Act 3? Just had that move. Like something Lorne's never done in his life.
I did a lot of things he never did.
It was just perfect. It was like this self-satisfied.
We still have no fucking first act.
I've got no fucking first act, no fucking code.
Marcy, look at
What
the
am I
book of
going to
Lorne,
do?
please, chapter 2.
Frankenrider Bush, Frankenrider Bush, Frankenrider Bush immediately.
Frankenrider Bush. Cool.
There was a lot of Bush cold openings.
Frankenrider
Remember,
Bush.
Robert, when
cold
you made
opening.
the cartoon thing where you flipped the
Frankenrider
pages?
Bush.
What was
Was
it?
it
Which
you?
cartoon?
Well, I was doing Bush Senior so much, I didn't know that the writing staff was kind of like, again? So then I saw a
Yeah.
thing where it's like a flip page where it was
Oh,
Bush
Downey
taking
reminded
his
me of
shit.
this.
Yeah, and you spin it and see me as
And it
Bush.
goes right
It was like a series of. It was like
Series
one of
of
those
drawings.
flip.
Yeah, flip
like a
book.
And
silent
what was
movie.
it? It was like, was it Franken putting Bush cold open on the? What
I thought it was Bush taking a poo or something. I thought it was scatological.
It could have been.
I like Frank and putting the card on the lineup.
I have to say, Franken takes a beating on your show.
He's coming. He's coming
He's coming on.
very, very soon,
It's
and we
okay.
will
Well,
play
yeah.
him.
I mean,
this
he's become like.
Well, Sarah got him back by stabbing him in the head with a pencil.
Yeah.
Did you hear that one?
Well,
Were you there?
Through.
I was not there. That was after I had left for Conan. But do you remember this? Spade, I bet you remember this. So one of the impressions, I was the one, I think, who started that. Like me and Conan, I used to do this thing for Conan of Al. And I feel bad because Al got me the job, actually. And I love Al, but he was tough back then. And so everybody kind of, needed to release some energy. Mine was like Al on his back and it like a snapping turtle. Just like, and it sketched in.
Flip me over.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I thought that's why he would, when he was running for senator, I thought he'll be great in there because Al is blunt and he just says what he thinks. I thought that'd be good for him.
He was great, boy, when he was in the Senate, he was my hero because he kind of like contained himself from being as confrontational. Like, I mean, at the show, his last few years at the show, I think he was kind of unhappy, to be honest with you. I mean, he was like in his 40s, and I don't think this is what he was dreaming of doing in his 40s. And I think that's in his defense. Like, he was confused as to what he wanted to do with his life. And then he started writing those books, and I think he found direction. And
he's always hyper political, and that was fun writing with him and Downey because he had
all these dreams, and then he's sitting next to Spade at read through, and he's like, "What happened?" It's like George Siegel and Just Shoot Me goes in the middle of a scene, he'd stop and he'd look at the crowd, he goes, "I did a movie with Elizabeth Taylor and I'm standing next to this asshole now."
Well, I remember Jan Hooks once saying to me, "Schmeigs, don't become one of those writers who's 50 years old and wearing blue jeans and sitting on the floor.
Flannel shirt.
Whatever you do."
It's always sitting on the floor with a notebook.
It's true. I mean, it's just, you never grow up when you're at that
And a little sachet where you put your bitterness in, a bitterness pouch where you just keep loading things in.
In Al's defense,
Didn't get
the
update.
show, I did 6 years, it gets mind numbing and it gets you in a box of like no sun and pizza and ordering in and stress and everyone else's energy. And so you did a long run there too. You seem pretty normal, but that was a long run you had.
I did a long run, but I got out when I was like 33 and to do the Conan show. And then I came back, but in a much more sane capacity. I just did the cartoons. And all I had to do was show up on... all I had to do was show up on Saturday. So I wasn't really a part of the thing anymore. But Al was like, there every day. And he's like in his 40s.
Well, let's get back to Schmeigel's unbelievable career.
Do we want to be a little bit... do we want to go a little bit to young Smigel first, or would you like to go later?
Young Smigel, or what about... Can my friend come on? Because he thinks young Smigel's a fucking bore. To be honest.
Let me see. Who do you got over there?
He's been riding me ever since
this is unique for Fly on the Wall. We have a guest with a special guest.
You have a guest with a guest who's just, I don't know. He just thinks that he can jazz it up. You
better behave.
Should I bring him out?
Yeah, bring him out.
Why not?
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
What? Here I am. Here I am.
No.
Finally. God, Jesus Christ, what a long wait. No, this is terribly exciting. So exciting.
Hi, Triumph.
Fly.
Do not make fun of this show or us, Triumph. I did. Please.
Oh, I know. I understand. Those are the ground rules I have to work with. No jokes about the show. No making fun of anyone.
Okay, good.
Okay.
No, honestly, this is a great show.
Thank you.
Fly on the Wall. Not for me to poop on. No. Fantastic show.
Oh, that's good. That's nice.
Fly on the Wall. There's a lot of buzz I hear around Fly on the Wall.
Good job, Triumph. Thank you.
Yeah, the same kind of buzz flies make around my ass. You see, because it's not asses attracts shit, and the show is what
that makes sense.
You see the joke, you get.
Yeah, that took a turn, but okay.
I like it. It's
a switcheroo.
Yeah, it's called a
No, Spade. It's a great show. It fills a need, because let's face it, Saturday Night Live, it hasn't gotten enough attention or retrospectives or anniversary shows. It's just, I mean, honestly, just the other day, I was thinking this, after watching my Best of Finesse Mitchell DVD, I was thinking, why? Why has SNL been written about only slightly more than World War II? Why not? And today's show, my goodness, how did you land this guest? They hand up my ass. Seriously, I'm worried. I'm a little concerned. This is your first season. You've already run out of people we care about.
No, Smigel's a big deal. He wrote a lot of great sketches.
Hey, sure he is. Everybody stay tuned. We've got the fourth funniest guy from the Bears sketch. And you have to explain what the sketch was to people under 60. It's trouble. This is what you're looking forward to. You already did Sandler, Rock, Mike Myers. This is your future. This is pretending to be interested in questions like, tell me, in coming up with Goat Boy, which came first to you, the goat or the boy? Is it a boy who becomes a goat or a goat who bemes a boy? Our listeners really, our 10 remaining listeners are dying.
No, there's more.
10. We didn't get the news.
No, I kid. I kid again.
Oh, he's kidding, Dana.
No, your show's great. It's a very, very successful money grab. I mean, hit. You have like, how many subscribers? You've got like 400,000 listeners, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes.
And not to this episode, that's for sure. But up to now.
No, it evens out.
Here, all we can hope today is to beat Alan Zweibel's numbers.
Numbers.
And who better
That
to
was a
host?
great guest.
Who better to co-host this show than Dana Carvey, one of the all-time greatest cast members on Saturday Night.
Thank you,
continue.
And then, why? Why would you say that?
Okay,
it's
go.
almost as if you think I'm going to hurt your feelings.
No, I think this will be a compliment.
Exactly. Dana Carvey, one of the all-time greatest cast members of Saturday Night Live, and David Spade, who was also on the show.
That's it?
No, Spade's everywhere. Spade is doing great. He's everywhere. Dana, this is actually a boost for you. You know, audiences
Absolutely.
are connecting with you again. That's what's great. I only wish, Dana, that you did this show like 15 years ago. You know, when podcasts were starting and all the people you do impressions of were still alive. Now it's
I've lost a lot of them.
Now it's like, hey, folks, what would happen? What if Ross Perot and Jimmy Stewart weren't rotting corpses slowly disintegrating into the soil? I think it might go something like this.
Yeah. Well, you're trying to be president. Yeah, like, here, can I finish one time? I'll just do it. There. I did. Can I
Listening
finish
to
one
your
time?
act, it's like the audio sixth sense. I hear dead people. Boom. I'm sorry. Is this wrong? This is a podcast. You're supposed to be complimenting each other. That's what it is, right?
I mean, yeah.
That's what podcasts are. White people complimenting each other.
Yeah, we need more.
Old white people.
We're pretty nice.
Old white people complimenting old white people. Old white people compliment. I got a theme song for you. Harmonize with me, Dana.
Yes.
Old white people complimenting old white people. Old white people. It's very hard to do over Zoom. I just realized.
Yes.
Listen, Spade.
Yes.
Spade. I don't want to insult you.
Oh,
You've
good.
had an amazing career.
Thank you.
You're Tommy Boy, then starring in a string of hit sitcoms that no one remembers. Waiting for him to fake laugh.
I'm laughing.
Hey.
And God bless Bernie Brillstein, right?
Yeah.
He started the whole thing off, right?
Great guy.
Calling the creators of Just Shoot Me and gently coaxing Steve Levitan to hire his client. You need a comic relief guy. I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's
That was
an
hysterical.
easy trim.
Snippity dippity.
No, I think we gotta put people. We gotta let them.
No, that's showed your thing. You did your thing.
Did Triumph hurt your feelings? I need to know.
No,
Not at all.
Little bit, Spade.
no, because I thought Triumph is a little older now, and maybe he was not like that anymore.
No. I'm older. That's the problem. Like, I didn't give a shit about this when I started trying 25
I know.
years.
I liked old white people complimenting other old white people or something like that. That was
We
funny.
looked it up. There's
With a song.
2.8 million podcasts.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
It's like COVID. It's just there's more every day, and no one knows what to do, and people are getting affected with it.
Here's what I've observed about this one, because I've listened to a few.
Okay.
And what's very funny to me, Spade, is like, you're one of the funniest persons in the world. This is an old white person compliment.
Yeah. Please.
Old white person compliment.
But on this show, it's all about a life you lived when you were like in the 90s, and you kind of have to revert. You're always reverting to that guy at the show who hadn't made it big yet.
Oh, yeah.
You're like always like, yeah, no, you guys were incredible, and I didn't know what to do.
Right.
It's just funny to me that Spade, who's had this amazing run.
Well, it does. When we throw back, everybody gets back in that around the writer's table and how fucking ordering Huxley's and all the stupid shit. It sort of throws you back to the dim lighting and feeling like shit all the time.
It was a stressful. Would you consider it? I would say, like, I love the show so much and people I met and worked with, and yet I was always stressed.
Yeah. I also remember how skinny your little office was. Like, I think people thought it was some palatial place. It's these little dungeons, and then I would go along the line and poke my head in to see if I could get my name on anybody's sketch. Smaggle.
Do you remember what my affectionate nickname for you was?
No, what was it?
Spudley.
No, well, everybody had Spudley and Spadoodles. No, Chief Naughton Show.
Chief Naughton Show.
Because I was never in the show. It's so horrible.
He was, but
I wasn't in much. I think I went.
You got in it in 93, 4, 5.
I did go.
Yes, once Dana left.
Well,
that's what was weird.
The thing
it's so
was,
weird because you were kind of pigeonholed. I remember your audition.
Yeah.
And you were very funny, but you were kind of like Spade light. You weren't like letting your whole kind of
persona,
but that persona
developed
come
it
out
later. Yeah.
And people like saw you as like this nice looking kind of blonde guy who did some impression. I think you did Tom Petty.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, he's going to be like a Dana Carvey type. And Dana Carvey was still on the show.
Yeah.
So I think people didn't know what to do with
I think I didn't, but I also wasn't in full disclosure thinking I was the new Dana Carvey. I was like, are you this guy?
You didn't.
I go, this guy's the best guy. And he does a million things. I go, I got to find what I can do. And luckily, like even that Hollywood Minute where Lauren, I was sort of teetering. And then he's like, well, just do more stuff like that. Cause that makes me a little different from Dana. And then I could find my own little niche or something. I don't know. It was tough. It was that part was tough.
Even The Receptionist, which was like the best sketch of that season.
Oh yeah.
I remember someone in a high position saying, yeah, but could Dana play that?
No shit. No, of course he could.
I came in and played an alien, right? Did I play an alien in that?
I felt bad because I said, you know, it's always hard, Smigel, if you're a writer and if you're a new writer, to put Mike Myers or Dana in something where they don't have a lot to do. But, you know, in your head, you're like, oh, it'd be fun. I have access to all these great people. And I don't know, they're quietly going, it's not that great. But Dana goes, yeah, I'll do whatever. So I go, you come in at the end as an alien. I don't realize they're going to put him in like 3 hours of makeup and hair. Remember you had a big bulbous head on?
I had a giant thing.
And I was like, oh no, I can't put Dana through this shit. And it also makes sometimes
that was part of being on the team.
Yeah. You know what? I have to say, no one complained.
McKinnon still gets into crazy outfits and says 2 lines in a sketch.
I liked on the 40th anniversary, Steve Martin goes in full King Tut outfit for 3 lines in a song or whatever, because he's committed and it's fun. I love it. And everyone's there to have fun.
And it's also like 70 million people are watching that one. I mean,
it's all different. Yeah, you're right.
Everybody's, But The Receptionist, I mean, it was so exciting to see a new person kill too. Like that's one of the great things on the show when that happens. Like that guy, James, when he did Trump for the first time this year.
Yeah. He was great.
It was thrilling, you know?
It was amazing, yeah.
And when the audience finds it, because I had been sort of kicking around the show for a while, and that was a hard one to get on. I think it took a few swings.
Oh, The Receptionist?
Yeah, and then it got on with MC Hammer at 5 to 1. And then the next time it got on first sketch. So
with Roseanne.
Yeah, with
right?
Roseanne. There was only like 3. So that's the one you remember. It's like bye-bye. There's only 2 of them. But, if they remember what they remember,
Yeah.
Church Lady was on more than 20 times the first season.
Oh,
There were
my.
20 episodes.
More than they had shows? Were you on twice
I would
in a
do
show?
an early chat, and then I'd do a good night chat.
After update.
with Jack
On the
Handy
Dana
would
Carvey
pitch in.
show, we tried to sneak the church lady into commercials. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
For
no,
real, we did that. We were like, can
Absolutely.
we superimpose the church lady or George Bush over a commercial?
Were you allowed to use that stuff on Dana Carvey show?
I technically, because of my contract when I came
Yes.
in, I owned the church lady.
Oh,
that
that's
was the
right.
last
It was
thing I
very
owned.
different back then. You could write a list of the characters
Yeah.
that you created before going to Saturday Night Live, and Dana
Yeah.
had a long list. And so, nowadays it's the complete opposite. Like they own everything, and then you have, like after 7 years, you have to do movies with the. I don't know.
Just do a mandatory
I
movie.
know. Then you do
different.
movies. You go back to the show. It is different. You do commercials and movies, and you miss shows, and you go back in the show. It's pretty cool for the cast. I think.
It's really now
I'm
that's true.
very
Now,
envious.
leading up to this 50th, they all come and go.
They told me to, Gervitz told me,
amazing.
my manager said, write on the flight out there, write all your characters and give them to Jim Henry. And I'm sitting there with a blank piece of paper on a Delta going, I don't even, what characters? What are you fucking talking about? I'm a stand-up. So I'd go, skateboard crazy guy, talks with a lisp. I'm just like making up something in case I write it one day or in case it sounds like a sketch I do and it clicks.
Right.
Anything like, you need a man or thing. But Robert, do you want to talk about some of our hits?
Your big
that we did
monster hits.
And you, well,
that we
Dana,
did together.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dana. So I was there for a year before Dana.
And then I
BD.
got in '86 with Phil and
Dana
Jen
got
and
in
Kevin
in
and Dennis.
'86, and he was like someone I connected with. What I loved about Dana was that Spade, you'll understand this. Like generally, like passive aggressive behavior rules at that show. Like who,
I was
me?
great at
I'm
that.
good. I could possibly no.
You're
My sketch is
kidding.
terrible. Don't put my sketch on. It couldn't possibly me. I'm being paid. Like that's what. And then there's people like Lovitz who are like, "What's going on?" They're anti-Semitic. That's why this sketch didn't make it.
You know why they cut it? Because it's funny. That's it.
It's too good.
It was too funny. That's why they didn't put it on. Yeah, John was great.
I
with
was
that.
sadly a little closer to John. I was like, Robert, you have no poker face. Lauren, I remember him telling me. There were people like me. I didn't really make big stinks though, but I was, imitating Lauren behind his back, like everybody eventually. Now everybody, I'm told you go to the
Literally.
show now, everybody does Lauren.
how funny.
Literally everyone. They all
Oh,
do.
you've seen this? Have you
Well,
witnessed this?
Well,
That's
James,
what I heard.
James Austin Johnson had a good one, and
yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Hader, of course. Any reason?
No, but I think they say that people just do it around the office.
Oh, just around you
Just
hear
to
it.
each other. Well,
Read
it's
through's
my-
going to start. Everyone get to their seat. And that's like a
But
first
what I
year
loved,
cast member.
yeah, right. But what I loved about Dana was that he just came in. He had a list of impressions that he handed out to the writers. Like he didn't pretend that he was above doing that, which
Right.
was so refreshing to actually admit that you care without being
guess.
cutthroat or anything. He was just being straightforward.
I just thought it made sense. I was able to do a bunch of voices. I
Well,
thought,
that's the
let
smartest
the
thing to do.
writers know, because I realized you guys
Yeah.
are just writing sketches, and if someone sees Casey Kasem or something, maybe they'd put him in. I don't know.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. Here you go, Jack Handy. Here you go, Odenkirk.
The
Here you go,
first thing,
Conan.
Robert, you approached me with was Robin Leach doing some kind of Japanese pruning or origami.
I don't know why.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because you'd seen his name on the list. But I had
Yeah.
a catchphrase for that one. I'm Robin Leach. I'm yelling, and I don't know why.
Right.
So I had that.
I loved Robin Leach.
But then it was
That
Ching
funny
Chang.
Robin
as
Leach
shit.
for everyone under 70.
But Robin Leach was
The
such a
host of Lifestyles of the Rich and
lifestyles.
Famous.
Another
Jolly
one of a
British
celebrity
man.
that is no longer with us. One of my impressions. Dino Stephanopoulos, who our listeners might know, every time someone I do an impression of passes away, he texts me, another one down. Whether it's
like, "Sorry, guy."
Regis or Bush,
You're going to kill in heaven, Dana, someday.
yeah.
I didn't know Dino did that.
I thought Robin Leach was so hilarious, and he had a great hook for it. I don't know why.
Oh no, everything Dana. I thought Dana's Travolta was hysterical because it was so not what Travolta sounded like in the 80s anymore.
No,
it was just like he's basically doing an exaggerated
Welcome Back Kotter.
Welcome back, Cotter, for everyone listening.
The key to that, if you want to do John Travolta, just say the word weird. It's slack so weird.
Slack
weird.
So weird.
Weird
Yes,
is
weird.
the entry to that. But
Slack, but also slack. So
what's that?
Well, it's like Dana would say, slack so weird.
It's slack.
It's slack so weird. You know, everybody should
but
just
that's
slack,
like
do whatever they
we
want.
very much connected because we liked doing impressions that were kind of abstract. We like creating abstract impressions. And so, Dana had some under his belt, obviously. And then I tried to help him with, Johnny Carson and Regis. The Regis thing was very strange because I wrote it for Phil Hartman.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it for Phil Hartman and it went to Dress.
Really?
And it didn't do great.
Oh.
And then Dana, in his gentlest, non-cutthroat way, just happened upon me like a week later and was like, Regis is kind of small and Irish. And I had just had a total blank. I had just picked Phil because he was the oldest cast member.
Yeah.
And I thought of him as just, okay, he's the old guy comparatively. But Dana was absolutely right. He looked more like Regis and then he started doing him. And
well, I didn't realize when I started watching him in New York, he had essentially just got on nationally. But we would get up around 9, Paula and I, and we would watch it, and we just fell in love with him.
Oh yeah,
and then
the most charming guy in the world.
And then getting to know you, just hanging out in your office, and we started, bouncing off. Are you ready for this? You're out of control. This guy's crazy. And you had all the. I think one of your things, very Robert Smigel, or something about I'm down at the Schreiders and I'm behind Brokaw. I can't get a seat. So we bonded over
it was
all
that thing of the explosion. This was something that he really did on the show.
Right, and then
Brokaw's got the front row seat, and I'm sitting with Patrick Swayze in the back. Anyway, it was a great event.
And he takes a sip of his coffee. Anyway, it was terrific.
It's like he's got nothing else, so he just goes to
Joy was there. Joy
anyway,
had a great
we
time.
wished them well. Oh yeah, when Joy hosted, that was always Regis was.
But you can't let Dana around an impression. He comes circling. It's like, all right, just give it to him. He's going to figure it out.
And then when he wrote his book, they said, we want to call it I'm Out of Control. And he had to go out, honest to
he
God,
never,
I never
ever said
that.
I'm out of control.
That was something that
Dana made up.
Dana Garney made up, but I don't understand.
Dana Garney.
But so we had, and then Carson came around. And just, I started playing around with it.
I think the Turners actually had written a Carson sketch.
Did they?
And I looked at it, you showed it to me, and I had just a couple of moves in my head, and then it sort of brought out some moves that you had. Like the thing that I love Johnny Carson so much. He was
an incredible voice.
In the 70s when I was a teenager growing up, I used to watch him constantly, and he was so charismatic, and he's still the greatest ever. But then Letterman came on in the early 80s, and it immediately got some,
the anti-talk show or whatever you want to call that.
Well, he was reinventing everything, and then Johnny, for no good reason, started feeling insecure about it. You could see it on the show because he started trying to do things that Letterman was doing, but he didn't know how to do it the way Letterman did. Letterman would just let them happen. Johnny would be like, we're about to do something that's a little weird. This is a little different. This is not the norm. That's right.
Yeah.
That was one of them. Over. We're going to take a camera and it's going to follow me. I can't do them as well as you do, but it was like
just
obviously
clench your jaw.
I'm going to clench your jaw. Thank you.
Clench your jaw and down
the
here.
camera is going to follow me. And it's going to walk out of the studio, and I'm going to go to another set. It's like, okay,
ask
know.
unusual questions to people.
Unusual questions that people are not going to know they don't know it's going to happen. All right, so let's start doing it. Now I'm walking. You see, I'm walking across, and
this is a bit. Yeah. You were witnessing a bit.
It's a little weird, and so that was weird, I was giving him this a little weird. And then Dana had this expression. He had a couple of things, like when Johnny calls people over to the the comedians are like, funny stuff. Funny stuff.
That was funny stuff.
And then you had weird, wild. That was
weird, wild
that was
stuff.
wild.
And for those of you at home, you're watching a thing called a television. You know how you would bring
so
the
then it
audience
became that where we just did the overly set up Johnny Carson thing. And then it was so dry. It was maybe the driest thing you ever did on the show, Dana. And then, but it always, Ed McMahon's rhythmically kind of acknowledging it and giving it like just like, yes, you are correct, sir, would always make it work. It was like the fact that you would say these strange things and then Ed would kind of affirm them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was the release button. But that was the first time, and I've said this before, but when I was on SNL and wasn't concerned with the laughs. I just was having so much fun being Johnny. And when I got the wig on, I am Irish, Carson, Carvey. My eyes are a little close together. And I go, God, I kind of look like him,
And then I could just look in the mirror and just get into that attitude of being just this, whatever that
Once you go into hair and makeup, too, it's just, that
really
was great.
Sets you up.
And then the third rail of the ones that really had a lot of episodes. Carson did Carcinio. We could talk about that, too. Regis had a lot of episodes.
I would love to talk about Carcinio anyway.
Well, Carcinio, let's do that now.
Only because
that was the extension of the Carson impression.
Well, we did we did one before that actually did piss Johnny off. And then I don't know if they asked you to do that late night history show, but they asked me. So I did it and I talked about it. And then they edited it to make it look like we didn't really give a shit how Johnny responded to it. And we did. We were really upset about it. Like we did this sketch where Arsenio, so Chris Rock gets hired in like 1990 and
plays Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, which he didn't do. Like I remember that's another guy I got to see audition and he was hysterical and like obviously, incredible obvious hire. But I remember asking Lauren, does it matter? He doesn't seem to be an impressionist. He'll do Arsenio. It was that.
Don't worry about Chris.
He's got the hair and he can do Arsenio. Just remember, it's like black guys on the show always have the burden of having to do like every black person.
Yes, we talked about that with Chris. Yeah.
You did?
A little bit. I think Dave brought it up.
Yeah, it is tough because everything just gets assigned, and no matter if it's even close. Okay, Chris, you're doing Al Roker this week.
Exactly. Show is diverse now.
Played an Asian character. I played Tony Montana as like a Cuban character. I had a bigger.
I wonder if you could write that, Robert, today. Is like, can you write anyone to play anything but what they are? I don't know how they do it there. I wonder if they have meetings and go, could I play this or...
Oh, at SNL.
Yeah, at SNL.
Well, they definitely let women play men.
Yeah.
They still let that happen. No, I know. It's interesting because like, even like something like, blackface thing is obviously a red flag, and it's something we didn't do in our era. And
never found it funny
in the
at
90s.
All. Yeah.
The 90s were a strange time where it seemed like the floodgates opened and people were doing exceptionally rude stuff. I don't know if it's because cable was starting and the networks felt the need to compete, but
you try too hard and you go in different directions that are sometimes the wrong directions. You just don't know. And then it levels out. Yeah.
But like, I just did this puppet show that failed, whatever. Like, and we had this guy who was going to do Obama, and he had done Obama on the Conan show for like 3 or 4 years, and he just sounded exactly like Obama. So I wanted to hire him, and then I found out that he was white. I didn't realize. I had no idea. I just knew he sounded exactly like Obama, and they said you can't hire him.
Did they ever call you now, Smigel, to write or help or come off the bench? And
no, I was there when Adam. No, they never call me. They don't. Although I actually sent Colin Jost an idea this week and didn't hear back.
Oh, didn't hear back.
No, it was an Anna Wintour idea. I thought.
Don't try to give him Iraqi Pete. That's Adams.
Actually, you would be great for this Anna Wintour idea.
Is that me playing him or Dana?
No, I'm talking about Spade. It's a very
Spade could own that.
Spade playing Anna Wintour. The idea was that she it was like an update feature where Anna Wintour is sitting next to somebody like who's the guy? Jared Leto. He's always wearing something insane. They just had the Met Gala.
Yeah. Jared Leto. Yeah, he's got great.
You know,
fashion.
and then it was just going to be Anna Wintour very quietly and dryly and very stiff, insulting, you know, Michael Che's outfit, Michael Che's suit. You know, like, is this a fundraiser for victims of fashion? And then like, you know, and then she turns to Colin Jost is like, you know, is that a suit or are you being humped by a couch? And then she starts getting rim shots and just starts walking into the crowd and starts doing
walking around.
Yeah, walking around the
That's
eighth floor.
funny. He stands up and starts
just doing
great.
crowd work. But she's
funny.
She's completely stiff, you know, and it's just if that tie was any louder, Molly Matlin could hear it.
Looks like Joseph A. Bank made it tonight.
What if Triumph was at the Met Gala?
Yeah, what would he do? He'd go crazy.
Actually, I've wanted to do the red carpet at the
That's
Met Gala.
perfect.
That's one of the few things I still want to do as Triumph.
Please don't let Triumph round Kim K.
Well,
she lost 16
now
pounds.
I have like these personal relationships that I care about. Like I would never touch her because Pete Davidson's a friend.
Oh, friend of the show.
No, he's a great guy. I know him. But like Dana, this is something, well, we never talked about the Carson thing, but this is another one
that's all right.
I don't know if you want to talk about this, but
I'll talk about anything.
We're 30 or I'm 30 or 32 or whatever you were. And Dennis gets bounced from his syndicated show. Yeah. And I have this idea to do, Dennis is now doing a cooking show.
Right. Which we called Dennis and he said, go ahead. Right.
We did call him?
I thought that I did.
Maybe you called him.
Yeah.
I didn't call him.
Yeah. I believe I called him. Yeah.
I don't think but that was like then. And I thought in my head, I was like, this is my duty as a Saturday Night Live sketch writer. I can't play favorites, you know. This is my privilege to work.
Duty comes first.
Yeah, that's how I took it. And
allegiance to the show.
I would say by like the time I was 40, I was like, no, I would never do that again.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think at that point there was any sort of idea that Dennis wasn't on his way with a career. Like he'd done the black and white special. He had the talk show. You know, Dennis was a star.
I mean, all he did after that was host an HBO show that got like 20 Emmys.
Exactly. So to me, I thought it was so funny, and the way you wrote it, Dennis's vernacular. Yeah. In a daytime cooking show. I don't know if you could quote some of that.
I mean, maybe you're right, but I feel like I still wouldn't do it now. I wouldn't be able to. I'd be too nervous about whoever's feelings it was.
Sure.
I understand that. I feel the same way. I kind of sometimes feel bad for Biden when I see him sort of lost or whatever. And so it's different doing it now.
It's weird when you get older and life kind of kicks you in the nuts and you learn what pain is. And you get more
you know
empathetic.
how careers are so hard and up and down. You're like, I'm going to probably hurt someone's career somehow accidentally.
You know who would always...
Biden's hair looks like a spider web. Go ahead.
The one person who would always scold me when I was younger, and I guess it's because he was sensitive to all the bad reviews he was getting, was Sandler. He was like I was doing those cartoons and they were going really well.
Yeah.
And I would do a cartoon about like David Brenner or something.
Yes.
Being a guest on a talk show, and it was fun with real audio. And I would use a real David Brenner story, but I would have him going on every talk show, and each host would get bored and press a trap door button and he would fall down and go like, you know, so he starts on like the Tonight Show, and then the trap door goes down to Conan, and then it goes down to like Tom Snyder, and then
hilarious.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was really funny. And I played it for Conan because Conan was in it and he was laughing really hard. And then I get a call from Sandler. You feel good about yourself, bud? You feel good about that?
No.
What if that guy's home watching? You know, he's like had a hard day family. And he's watching the show and he's like, yeah, what is this? Why? What did I do?
Yeah. Why?
He did Brenner, didn't he? Sandler could do Brenner on the show.
He did a great David Brenner.
That's right.
But it wasn't nearly as mean as this cartoon.
No, it wasn't mean. It wasn't.
Well, remember the one you did where you had Stedman hiding from Oprah in the mansion?
Oh my God. That was from the Comedy Central show. And it's interesting you bring that up because that was a cartoon I wasn't going to do. It was one of those lines that I would draw for myself, which is, people are always shocked. You had
lines?
I did, but I didn't like to make fun of drug addiction. I always felt like when people are, that desperate,
it's
and
not funny ultimately.
It's like, everybody, it's easy to reduce somebody to a cartoon character. But that was one. And another one was women's looks. I really hated making fun of a woman for her looks because women are held up to these ridiculous standards. And it just felt shitty. And so this Oprah one was Andy Breckman's premise. And the premise was that Stedman, every time Oprah wants to have sex, Stedman has convinced Oprah that he's an international spy. And every time Oprah wants to have sex, Stedman pretends he's getting an alert and he has to go off. I'm not making it sound as funny as it.
No,
but it was so funny and so well.
I like it.
I broke the rule because it was just too funny, and it remains like one of the funniest cartoons I've ever been involved in. But it was Andy Breckman's idea. Also, one of the nicest people I've ever worked with, Andy Breckman, and yet he had this idea that I thought was too neat.
Ask him about the Bears. The Bears is a big one. I love it because Farley was in it.
I just want to say very quickly that I know that John McLaughlin, which you completely created, loved our sketch.
Oh, yeah.
Regis loved it. Perot loved it. George Bush Sr. loved it.
Yes.
And it was only sweet Johnny Carson got a little tweaked. And I don't
Johnny Carson, we should talk about this one because it was like... So Rock comes on. I'm sorry.
Oh, Carcinio. Rock comes on and plays Arsenio.
Rock comes on and plays Arsenio. And this was at this time when Johnny was getting sort of threatened by Arsenio's presence. Arsenio was white hot. That's a bad choice of words, I suppose. But Arsenio was like
Please stand
on fire. Everybody was talking about him. And we did that thing of like, now I understand that this, that would over-explaining thing. But in this case, it was like, I understand you have a show. Dana, you should do it. You remember.
I understand you have a show, and it's
and it says here, he was like looking at his notes. It says here that your show is up against my show.
Yes,
and it says here that. I did not know that. And your ratings have actually gone up higher than mine.
And mine are starting to decline.
Right.
It's weird.
I did not know that. And now it says further that your show is considered hip. And mine, I am starting to be considered out of touch.
Yeah.
I did not. Ed, did you know that? Yes.
Yes, sir.
A really sad yes.
Yes.
But the thing that Johnny got maddest at, Dana, do you remember this? It was the first guest. We had a throwaway first guest before we bring on Arsenio.
It was Susan Day, right?
It was Susan Day, and I had written it for Sinead O'Connor, for Jan Hooks to play Sinead, because she had already done it, and it was hilarious. And she's very serious, and you guys are just would be doing not a lot of hair on her head. That is quite a dome. All that kind of stuff.
A little smooth on the upper turf.
Yeah. Not a hairy woman, sir.
From ear to ear, not a lot going on.
Lauren was like, she's done Sinead. She does a killer Susan Day, which she had done once on the show, and it was killer.
Oh,
so Lauren suggested, and it wasn't like it wasn't funny. He suggested, what if he has Susan Day on, but he keeps wanting to talk about the Partridge Family?
And it had been 15 years since it'd gone off. Yeah.
Yes. And so that was how we wrote it. And then Johnny took it as like, are you seeing this, Ed? He said this on the show. They're saying I'm senile. He literally thought we were now calling him senile. All because we had changed that opening.
Wait,
that was the one that I thought was, yeah.
He said it on... he said it as Dana, or
no.
The real
Johnny said it on his own show. He started bitching about Saturday Night Live on his own show. And Dana, I heard you say this to Regis, and it broke my heart because I had never heard this. You said to Regis in an interview, like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, I saw. you said that you heard that Johnny said, when they start making fun of you, it's time to go away.
Well, he would say it over in Burbank, just in the hallway, the big giant studio, and just yell it out.
They're making fun of me now. It's time to go.
Yeah, that.
But what I realized, and I would take it for anyone in show business, that eventually you become a caricature of yourself. If you're a comedian, it doesn't matter. I don't want to name the person. You could see someone and kind of go, is that a celebrity impersonator or is that the real guy? So you do become a caricature of yourself. It's kind of flattering, but for Johnny, hard, I couldn't get on the show after that.
I know. Nobody from SNL did for a year.
And he really took it to heart. And so that
was heartbreaking for us. But then I think I also heard from you back then. So then we did the Carcenio sketch, which was basically Johnny
as trying to be like Arsenio.
Trying to be like Arsenio Hall.
With an afro.
It was a big hit sketch. He had the pointy hair and he had the elongated fingers.
Yeah.
And he would, do you see this head? All you have to do is go whoop, whoop, whoop. And the audience goes whoop, whoop, whoop.
Do you know that a house is called a crib, Ed? Did you know that? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Robert, I did Carson 2 months before he quit as stand-up.
Oh, wow.
And he came back to the back and he goes, who hates Dana Carvey? I go, I do. And he goes, that's my boy.
Really?
No, he didn't. He came back and said hi to me. But I remember it was very odd to get on the show. I did do it 2 months before he got off. And he did come back. But he came back.
And you were on Saturday Night Live. You broke the code. Yeah.
No, I
was I on?
He went off in 93, I believe.
You were absolutely on the show, Dave.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
But let me just say this real quick. Carvey told me that he liked the Carcenio sketch.
Yes.
He said, what did he say? It makes fun of both of us?
They're making fun of Arsenio as much as they're making fun of me. I mean, that's funny stuff, that kind of thing.
So I remember feeling a lot better about, and then he did start letting people on the show again.
No. I was saying I got on somehow and, I don't know, just did my crummy act and got out of there. But
stop it.
He did. He waved me over, Smikes.
That's amazing.
And I left. I didn't go.
You gave him the finger?
Well, the guy backstage, Macaulay, said, he goes, get on there, hit your mark, and get off. And I go, what if Johnny waves you over? And he goes, he won't. Just go do it. And I go, oh
my God.
So I went out and turned and left. And he goes, there he is. And
did the little double tap and the wink.
He goes, Martin Short was with him, and he goes, have him come over. And he goes, I'm trying to, but he won't look at me. And he goes, he's too nervous. All right, there he goes. All right, well, that was David Spade.
He said that on the air?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then he came backstage.
Where were you?
Where
the fuck were you? They left me there with egg.
I had my shirt off.
You made a fucking fool of.
Yeah, and it was a BO fucking torrential storm back in my room because I was so scared. I have my shirt off and I have Pepto-Bismol and they knock and I open and it's Ed, I think, Doc and Johnny, and he goes,
all three of them.
I did. Yeah, he goes, I did. He goes, I didn't get a chance to say good job. I'd come over and nice job. And I go, oh, I didn't even see you or whatever. And he goes, Pepto-Bismol. I'm trying to quit the stuff myself. And then he walked away. Isn't that great?
Hysterical.
It's a fantastic story.
He did a bit.
He did a bit, but in reality, he was broken inside, and he went around the office and said, when they start not coming over to the couch, it's time to quit.
Who put you up to this? Dana Carvey, that fuck?
So it's you, Spade.
Yeah.
You're the one who pushed him out.
No.
Let's go, Ed. Ed, let's go back and find him. Doc, come on, let's go.
I'll hit him high, you hit him low.
Hit him low.
Well, talk about McLaughlin, too, because that was a great McLaughlin group.
John McLaughlin ran a round table.
Well, we got to have everyone know you did McLaughlin, you did the Bears, so many. You did Clucky fucking Gaga Gooey.
Hey, what did you help me with? Did you help me with the Clucky or Schmitz Gay? You helped me with one of those two.
I was almost in Schmitz Gay for a rough draft, and then it went to Sandler and Farley.
I know.
Which was
went
great.
to that was Downey's idea, and it was a brilliant call to take the two youngest guys in the cast and make them the guys. That was.
What was I? Was I older than them?
I originally I had it as Dana and Kevin because I thought this is going to be the first sketch of the year, and Dana and Kevin are the guys, and then I don't remember a draft with you. I
No,
remember him
someone,
saying
maybe
Farley.
Shoemaker or someone said, I think you're in
And
this thing.
remind me what this sketch is. you're
Schmidt's
talking about.
gay?
Oh, Schmidt's gay. That was became a film, didn't it?
That was a big one. Yeah.
No. You're
No,
thinking
that
of
was
the ambiguously gay duo?
No,
It
I
was a
thinking
commercial parody.
Sandler and Farley did something by a pool.
Yeah, with Van Halen music.
It was a parody of all those,
So that was it.
sexist beer commercials. It's one of the ones I'm most proud of.
Oh, it's great.
Hysterical. But that ended up being
I also
Sandler
like
and Farley.
that the gay people weren't like portrayed in any kind of like mocking way.
Right.
The whole joke was turning the tables on these these ridiculous commercials that associate beer with objectifying women.
So
and
funny.
it just got this huge, it got one of the biggest responses I
Oh,
ever
it's so
got.
great.
It was
Good
huge.
Van Halen song in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Farley and Sandler doing a conga line. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
But Spade, I thought you either helped me with that or Cluckin' Chicken, which is my personal favorite.
Oh, Cluckin' Chicken. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I just get in there and try to help anywhere I could.
I think you threw me some jokes in there.
Maybe I threw you ga gooey.
That sounded like me. The ga gooey.
God,
And
Cluckin'
how's the me?
Oh, I love
Hey.
Sandler's voice, and that was so funny. That was a cartoon. That was half cartoon commercial parody.
Cartoon. Yeah, cartoon Superman. That's how I met the guy, J.J. Settlemeyer, who ended up doing the first few
TV
years of
Funhouse.
the TV Funhouse cartoon.
Hey, Funhouse. Welcome back to my show. But you put Lauren's voice in there. Did anyone say anything?
That's maybe the hardest I've ever laughed in my life because I became a 10-year-old again. Like the way when I was 10, I would draw cartoons of my teachers, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when a teacher would see, I would like giggle like, and I remember the first time
you saw the
dress
cartoon
rehearsal that the ambiguously gay duo ran. And then this little cartoon Lauren comes out and chases the dog. Lego my show, Lego my show. And I'm watching Lauren watch it.
Oh my God.
And I'm just in tears. I was like, Lauren would call it, you put a beanie on the boss. You put a
what is that? It just made fun of the boss or a beanie on the boss?
It's like reducing the boss to a lower status. It's like Lauren had a term for every comedy move in the world.
Totally.
I've seen every sketch 4 times, so it's hard for me. Everything anyone's written, I've seen a version of it in my
One of my favorite recent Lauren ones within the last 5 years around funny people who do comedy. There's only 900 of us on the planet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a specific number. Like, well, maybe that's true. I don't know.
We did run some numbers.
It's down to 898.
Yes, if you don't count Steve and Marty.
Steve counts for 3.
Marty, he counts for 100.
I think, Robert, we asked
really that good.
Didn't we ask William Shatner if he was okay with that sketch you wrote? I think he was, right?
Oh, yeah, I pitched it to him.
And he liked
Trekkie sketch.
Yeah, that was a big famous sketch that you wrote.
That was a sketch
still
where,
resonates all the time.
That's
in
a
the media.
big one.
Well, I have an affinity for nerds because I was an SNL nerd. I was as big a nerd as anybody. I was completely in awe of the show when I got there. I knew who Edie Baskin and Leo Yoshimura were. I memorized the
key
photographers. That's how pathetically nerdy I was.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of my most famous stuff has to do with Triumph and the Star Wars line is one of my happiest memories because I was making fun of them, but I felt an affinity toward them at the same time. The nerds waiting online for Star Wars and Triumphs. They were all they all took it so well. They were all just comedy fans.
Excited.
It was like when it was like, did you guys, I'm sure you, Spade, you both probably got to meet Don Rickles, right?
Yeah.
I did. Yep.
Did he insult you when he met you the first time?
Do an impression of a gorilla is what he said to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Smigs on one time, Chris Farley took his mom to see him on one of the breaks on the weeks off. And he goes, I go, what happened? He goes, we sat right in the front row and, he goes, Rickles comes over to him in the middle and goes, what's your name, Tiny? And he goes, my name's Chris. And he goes, how much you weigh, Chris? And he goes, about 260. He goes, The left side of your ass, maybe.
And then he went to the next table.
Yeah, and then he
So he knew that it was Chris, right?
I don't know. It's just all funny.
That's so funny.
I'll bet
He's
he
just
did.
like, I'm just going to treat him like anybody else.
Yeah, I just goes, there's a fat guy in the front, sir. Maybe go for him.
Yeah. He has a little bug in his ear.
Yeah.
When he got older. Fat guy, three.
Lady wearing a flower box hat.
Take 4 steps to the right. Fat guy alert.
Closer. That's him.
Get him. Go. I took it as a badge of honor. I love being ripped by Rickles.
When I met him, I was a producer at the Conan show, I think. Or no, I was doing Triumph, I think. And I did it for Rickles, but I met him first. They introduced me because they wanted to make it okay that make sure he would be cool with it. And he sees me and he just says, "Hello, Rabbi," which I later heard was a move he had for a lot of Semitic.
That was his move.
Like Jon Stewart told me once that was the first thing he said to Jon Stewart when he
had his bag of tricks.
Just a good, safe, offensive, across the board thing to say.
Yeah, we've all got our standard zingers.
Going full circle toward the end.
If you think Triumph never said the buzz flies around my ass before, you're sad.
Right.
There's only so many mathematical ways to get at that ass joke, okay? They can be flying around. But Regis told me once, this was when Rickles was still on the road. Honest to God, some nights you don't know if he's going to make it. They give him 2 eyeballs. He's rubbing his knees. Honest to God, I don't know. When they play the music, he goes out and he kills him for an hour, kid. Then he lies down on the couch.
I like honest to God.
Honest to God.
Who's better than Robert Smigel? Honest to God, this guy, he's everywhere. I mean, it really is.
He was really nice to me, too. One time, this is insane. Yeah. I had an idea for a sitcom, and it's one of the happiest half hours of my whole life. I got to sit in the hotel room and pitch Larry King and Regis Philbin a sitcom where they played an old gay couple. And they took it dead serious, like, this is a great idea. And they had already consulted Rickles about it. And Larry King's like, Rickles says we can do it, but we can't be too swishy.
Swishy.
And, we would just talk about it. And Regis, the funniest was Regis. He was like, so Bob, again, I apologize for my inferior Regis, but it's like,
just go
so
nasal.
If we do this, I know there's going to be a script, but not really, right? I mean, we can get out there and Larry and I can just go off, right? Just play off each other, right? There's a story to the, it's a sitcom. It's got to have, but Bob, I mean,
come on, Bob,
learning lines. And we have a natural thing, Bob. Rickles says we just have to look natural. I'm like, when did Rickles become the oracle of sitcom?
Run everything by Rickles.
Mr. CPO Sharkey.
Sharkey, 1975. Yeah.
If you have a copy of that treatment, can you send it to me and Dana?
I don't think I ever bothered to write it. Somehow they said yes to just meeting with me for a half an hour.
One other thing that Smigel has, it's one of the funniest titles, is the autism benefit, The Night of Too Many Stars. It's the funniest
both
title.
of you have done.
Of course.
Thank you. Both of you have done it. You've done it a couple of times. Dana, you did the first one, and it was one of the greatest bits that it's ever been on that. We've done 7 of them.
What was it?
Well, Hal Wilner, rest his soul.
Yes.
Music
was
director.
An incredibly great guy who was the music
supervisor at
Saturday Night Live. And
for 200 years.
For 200 years. He missed the first 300. And he would help me book. He knew everybody in music.
Yeah.
And he would help me book the show with, we had a booker who would be paid, and then Hal for free would get me, he got me Elvis Costello once, he got me Sting. And this particular bit, he got me Lou Reed. And it was like a surprise appearance. The people in Roseland, you remember we did this in Roseland, and they went crazy. And Lou Reed comes out, and it's like Jimmy Fallon saying, Lou Reed, and he's going to have an all-star band. And then one by one, he introduces the all-star band, and it's all comedians.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the drums, Dana Carvey. On the guitar, Conan O'Brien.
I think Sandler was there too.
Jack Black, Adam Sandler, and Lou Reed played it perfectly. Like, this is the all-star band. And then they did this incredibly funny somewhat disrespectful but affectionate version of Walk on the Wild Side.
Oh, I love it.
And it's on YouTube, and Sandler literally like is right in his face going,
Lou Reed got mad at me. It was very awkward. I still remember it. After the rehearsal, I didn't really have a monitor. I could hear it. He's going to take a walk on the wild side. So he very seriously, as everyone scattered, just walked over to me and just was intense Lou Reed and goes, "Don't do that. Don't do that."
Don't do what?
Whatever he thought I was doing on the drums. I go, "I'm a comedian and I can't hear myself. Don't play like that." You know, he just got very serious. Maybe it was nerves. But then we came out later. He was totally affable.
He was probably just, that was the only thing he probably cared about, was that it sounded good.
Right. And I wanted to play well. I just that my
You're
monitor,
a great drummer, and you did it sounds amazing.
Oh, that's good. I guess I got it on the air show. We just had a brief rehearsal.
You absolutely.
It was kind of fun having Lou Reed
Adam's
yell at
an
me.
incredible. Adam's a great guitarist, and Conan's a good guitarist, and Jack Black's. I mean, these are like all the most musical.
Yeah.
They just happen to all be there.
And that song is brilliant, but it is very, very austere and very simple, which is, take a walk on the way. It's like
it was perfect, and everybody got a turn.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't, because you were the drummer, but all these other guys did solos in their different ways.
Right.
I learned a few things from Smigel today. I learned that Franken and Davis hired him.
Franken and Davis hired me. That is correct.
His dad invented Crest White strips.
No, that's not true.
Okay. I heard that he
tooth
did
bonding. He developed the whole tooth bonding technique.
Yeah. Right. And Lou Reed hates Dana Carvey. These are the only things I picked up.
Carvey.
Another one of my impressions has gone to the stars. I have insight onto this. Involves you. Someone told me today. So Michael Gordon wants to go write for the Conan show. He talks to Bob Odenkirk. And Bob Odenkirk said, wait till we get Smigel as the head writer. And then somehow you became the head writer, and then
you're talking about the original Conan show. I thought you meant Michael Gordon wants to write for the new Conan show.
Sorry. This is goes back in time when but he said
Michael Gordon knew Bob Odenkirk?
I think so, or at least casually.
Hey. Oh, it's so funny.
Dana.
So good.
So funny.
Oh, my God. That's so funny. Oh, my God. No, you're not doing that, are you? No. Was he mad about Chippendales? Because there's a rumor down. He said I was really mad about it. And I wasn't.
Yeah, that was something down he read online. He read online that it was the most ridiculous lie imaginable, that you marched into Lauren's office.
Yeah.
I did.
Like you,
pounded on his door.
People. You were like, you'd been there for like 4 weeks.
Yeah. I go, and you know what? Marcy would have tackled me.
You could have been there for 5 years. You never would have pounded on Lauren's door.
That was clearly made up. But there's a controversy around, was that exploitive of Chris or not? People have their different opinions when he did the Chippendale sketch with his shirt off.
I thought the opposite, which was, I just have an inherent... I thought the people were not laughing at Chris. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see it that way. I thought, because there have been a million fat comedians who, exploit their bodies in some way or another, play off being heavy.
Jackie Gleason.
But the thing that I saw that night was an audience fall in love with Chris.
Yeah.
Because he was so committed and he was such a good dancer.
Yeah, he's a great
and he acted
dancer.
Like he wasn't remotely ashamed of his body, that whether that's, obviously not necessarily the truth, but that's what he projected. Mm-hmm. And to me, it was like, if anything, they didn't use the word empowering back then, but to me, that's how it felt to me. Like, the way somebody like Bridget Everett, where the person is, completely unself-conscious about their body. At least it played that way to me, but mm-hmm. I would say this. I would say if you saw that in Chris, if you felt that was happening to Chris, then maybe you should have talked to Chris about it and made sure it was cool with Chris instead of just saying, tut, tut. This is
I didn't know a thing. I just saw a young cast member.
Yeah, I barely knew him.
I did not. Look, there's different levels. This was young Chris. I saw a guy very athletic. I think anyone next to Patrick Swayze would look kind of chubby. And so Chris was moving really like a chubby guy, not like a next level.
He was not even that big back then.
No, and I saw a guy killing with physical comedy, but if he was sad about it inside, I was clueless to it.
I was clueless too if he was, but I mean, when I saw him at Second City that summer, he was another person I had the privilege of seeing audition back then. And what struck me about him at Second City was how graceful he was. Like he was the opposite of Fatty Falls Down,
who gained some weight. He was an athlete.
Yeah, and he was incredibly graceful, and that's what separated him. Besides, his incredible characterizations. But so to me, that's the sketch was the only thing it was exploiting was his incredible. Was what made him special.
I would go by David's
athleticism,
only because David was probably the closest to Chris.
I don't remember any problems.
I don't think David was the closest back then, though.
Maybe not back then, but after they did their movies and stuff. Well, right up there, right?
That's
David?
Different. By then, Chris started to get in the motivational speaker sketch. I remember I had one contribution to that sketch because Bob was no longer there. Oddly enough, Bob wrote the entire sketch. And Spade, this, I added just that little part at the end where he's like, Matt's going to shade you. You're here, Matt's here. That thing.
Yeah.
And then
he knocks over
Matt's
the coffee. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and he knocks over the coffee table.
Yeah.
And that was like, I just felt it needed like a physical topper at the end.
Yeah, a good
So we put it in and it worked. And then I feel, though, that it did lead to like the slippery slope of Farley knocking things down.
He's going through walls to the ceiling.
Yeah, it started something that I did not intend to happen.
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of waiting for it after that. Every sketch, they're like, what's he going to hit? What's he going to fall through?
Well, certainly with the Matt Foley ones, but it started happening in other sketches, too.
He just walks in and falls
Fatty
through.
falls down.
Fatty falls down. That's all you got, Farls.
I would then we started getting cynical about it. Like, Chris, we would just come up with different names for
that falls. Nancy Kerrigan sketch, she was a great ice skater, too.
Oh, that's true. There you go. Yeah, he could ice skate as well. Yeah.
So that canceled out Chippendales. So we're even.
I just, when people say it's just very glib to that sketch set him off. It's just so. I just find that irresponsible too.
Well, I never heard him complain about it in the years to come. So I think he was just like, if you're a young cast member and you get a sketch that's a 10 out of 10 and he took it and it blew him up, I don't think he ever looked back and said, but I felt like.
No. So many other things got.
Did he ever take his shirt off again on the show? I mean, he fell around and stuff and walked through walls, but I don't remember.
I'm not sure he did.
It didn't become a thing. Let's get Chris's shirt off. So that's good too.
There was a lot of restraint until like the later. I think it wasn't until his like third or fourth year. It was like people were running out of what to do with them, and it became like a shorthand kind of cheap move to have Farley break something. But he was like, oh my God, Spade, do you remember his acting in that Tom Schiller?
Oh, the coffee one?
Yeah. Just the way good. His face changes when he hears that they've switched Folgers.
It was a great idea. How many takes does he get to trash the whole set?
I know. That was all Tom Schiller.
The Schiller vision of the Folgers commercial was a real hit, but it's kind of a gem that not everyone saw.
I put it in the best of because of that.
Yeah, great one.
So that people would see it because it was one of his greatest acting jobs ever.
Yeah, they could look it up. All right, let's. Anything else for this guy, Dana?
Let's see.
Anything else for this guy?
Your social security number, this is just housekeeping.
Basic
security number.
Just stay on and do the paperwork. We're going to jump off, but no, that's it. You did. We covered literally everything you've ever done.
Well, we did a lot of SNL, but obviously Robert and I did the Dana Carvey show, and he invented
oh my God,
ambiguously
that
gay
is so
duo.
funny that we didn't talk about the Dana Carvey show.
It's all right. It's we're Saturday Night Live focused, but that was.
You'll do a whole podcast about that someday.
Right. We have a Hotel Transylvania podcast after this if you want to stay on.
That's what I'm waiting for.
You want to stay on. You were Zohan.
Just a Hotel Transylvania 2 podcast.
He did the Clutch Cargo characters on Conan, which I loved. You know,
the
or
Arnold,
just the lips and the arms. Talk about exaggeration.
Oh my God, we didn't talk about the Hans and Franz movie. That would have been fun.
Hans and Franz.
This is the part of the show where we just talk about how much better the show could have been.
Well,
Hans and Franz movie. Oh,
what if we have you back? That's horrible.
I wrote all your stuff out today, and I knew there was no way this was going to fit into an hour. And so
I know. That's
okay.
More than anything, I wish I'd talked about that.
Which one?
The Hans and Franz movie.
Because
it's so funny and crazy.
It's a hysterical movie.
Dana has talked about it on here because it was the whole way it got put together, and then it didn't work out. But there was so many
Hans and Franz, the girly man dilemma. But it was not. It was not homophobic. Yeah. It was just girly men are just men without big muscles like them. You know.
Do you remember the part? Okay, well, we can't. I was going to talk about the Siskel and Ebert part. It was one of my favorite.
Yeah,
Tell the whole story. You have 12 seconds. Go ahead.
Hans and Franz were doing their movie, and they're running around somewhere, and they go into a room, and Siskel and Ebert are watching the movie.
I mean, they're not. Yeah. They're just doing the movie. They're in the movie.
They're in the movie,
and they're doing a cross country trip to Los Angeles because they want to be in the movies and be with Arnold.
Yep.
And then they're riding a bicycle across country, and then at one point they happen upon a big edifice, and they just walk in. And Siskel and Ebert, the most famous critics at the time, Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert, are sitting in the theater, and it's just like, "How's the movie? You like it? It's pretty good so far." They're watching the movie.
Lots of action and collapse.
They're in this dark room watching the exact movie that's taking place.
So on the screen is us talking to them.
Yeah, it's you talking to them. They're like in their movie seats, and then on the screen
is us talking.
You see
to them
watching the movie,
right?
But and it's like 4 seconds behind.
4 seconds behind. Got it.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and then eventually they get kidnapped because they're girly men.
Right.
Like you go to check in on them later, and they're gone. Because the evil villain has kidnapped. He's like, remember Sonny Bono disappears, and I can't remember who famous girly men of the day.
The bad guy had a big button that said "Hurt the weather," and then we cut to Stallone would look out his window, go, "Hey, the weather seems hurt somehow," you know.
It was going to be Dolph Lundgren, and he had this kind of like final solution villain kind of thing where I am going to eliminate all the girly man from the face of the earth. And then he turned to the camera and say, "And I'm going to hurt the environment."
Oh, that's right. Had the button that said "Hurt the environment." That's right.
Yeah, because we were obsessed. I desperately wanted to do, like, Mike Myers was my hero later because he, with Dr. Evil, created a character that, remember all these 80s comedies, the villain, you always had to like take it seriously. For like
rather than a funny
whether
villain.
It was Max von Sydow or in Strange Brew or like there, you always had to have these obligatory villains, and so we were trying to make fun of that and have the villain be as funny as then Mike ended up doing it perfect.
Good for Mike.
Good for Mike.
All right, let go of my show.
This has been Robert Smigel. I would say he's the greatest sketch writer of his generation. He's in the discussion. I'd put him at the top, but everyone can have their opinion.
Jack Handy was the guy that
different lane though. I put him in a different lane, but
it's a different lane. But here's what I'll say about Jack. That was why all the writers. I would say if you polled at least the writers of that era, they would have gone with Jack, and it's because someone like me wrote I'm very proud of a lot of things I wrote, but I feel like, there are ideas that only I could have thought of, but there are other ones that I think other people could have. And where Jack, like nobody else could have thought of almost any of the sketches Jack Handy wrote.
Yeah.
Any read-through, you'd be like, oh my God, this is Jack Handy within 3 lines. You're like, everyone looks around.
Exactly.
He's over there
also,
smiling.
Like, people act like he was just the act 7 guy, like the 5 to 11 guy. But
Toonses was huge.
Toonses was the biggest character on the show for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like literally the biggest character on the show was a cat puppet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Toonses, look out! And we'd all crash.
Frozen Caveman Lawyer. They would get no laughs practically, but everybody from Lauren on down was in awe of that brilliant sketch. And so it always made the show. It was never at the end of the show because we were all collectively just so proud to put it on television.
I am a simple unfrozen caveman or something.
Yeah, no, my God, that was just the perfect use of Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
He did that perfect smarmy.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's almost like William Shatner or
simple
something.
caveman.
I'm just a simple caveman.
I think 60 million in punitive damages feels about right.
So we all love Jack.
Yes, okay. Thanks, Robert.
Right.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, guys.
Loved it.
All right, talk to you soon, buddy.
Love you.
Bye-bye. Hey, what's up, flies? What's up, fleas? What's up, people that listen? We want to hear from you and your dumb questions.
Questions, ask us anything. Anything you want.
You can email us at flyonthewall@cadence13.com. All right, guys,
that's flattering.
It's time for Q&A, and we answer a question at the end of every show. We get a lot of emails, I have to say, but one of the most requested, probably 50 about. We've mentioned this sketch called Massive Head
Massive Head Wound Harry.
So the question was, no, the questions aren't about what's that. I gave blood. Sorry, great guy syndrome.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad that the COVID was at least on the downslope when you gave away your precious fluid.
I was just on a flight, and there's no shortage of coughing and wheezing, and this lady, and then I go, I don't want COVID. She goes, no, I just have the flu. I go, oh, okay, good. So, all right. A sketch with Dana called Massive Head Wound Harry, and a dog was attacking the makeup on Dana's head. Can you tell us about that? Or animal stories from SNL? Sorry, you get one question. Thank you. Love the show. Okay. That's for David Himes.
Massive head wound, Harry. So they put a prosthesis on my head, so it looked like I had a massive head wound. And I was clueless and innocent character. I walk into this party. Were you at the party? You were in the party. Did you have a line?
I think it was a Jack Handy sketch.
I thought it was a Smiley.
Really?
Would Handy go that mean? Maybe. I don't know.
Wow, that's a great question for us.
This is another.
Google it while we're answering because we're both probably lying.
So the point is, just because we tend to ramble, but Massive Head when Harry goes around, he scares everybody. His head goes in a punch bowl. It's like pretty grotesque. And then he lies down and goes, I'm going to go take a nap. This is me. So I go on the couch. So we have a dog. Is it a Labrador retriever? Anyway, so during the practice show, the dog is supposed to start biting and trying to eat my head. And so it did, and it was at a certain level of energy and whatever. For the air show...
And killing, though, just killed.
Still killed. But on the air show, they put so much more. I think it was like almost like Gerber's baby food meat flavor. They put like 10 times more on the prosthetic.
52 sausages.
So the Labradoodle goes shithouse. And it's just grabbing and not hurting me, but just eating and wants to take the whole thing off Massive Head Wound's head.
Unreal.
It starts to stretch out. Now, I have a thought in my head like, okay, I don't want it to take the thing off only because the sketch is killing. Yeah. And I don't want it to be killing, because it went off. So I put my hand on my temple. I'm holding the thing on, and it's taking all the strength I can. And funny with the sound off, so I'm not speaking. Everyone's looking. The dog is doing that, and it goes on for like a minute.
Yeah, audience.
Lorne Michaels apparently was looking at a monitor and crying with laughter.
So funny.
So it went, and it's hard to top a dog trying to eat a man's head on live television. That's for all you comedy writers out there. That's what I got. What's your point of view, David?
Well, I think I was in the sketch, or I was just standing on the side watching it, and did great at dress rehearsal. It was funny. A guy, Massive Head Wound Harry, comes into a party for no explanation, has a head wound.
Yeah, and they had a little song. He's massive Head Wound Harry.
And then the dog does a great at dress. Dog goes crazier. The dog trainer's freaking out on air. The dog's really freaking out. Dana's trying to hold it, and I think you said, I think he smells my dog.
Yeah, you must smell my dog.
Yeah, no, it was
I did a little Garth with that character. Yeah. But I remember you had to stand in for me. I had to go somewhere during rehearsal. Didn't you have to put the prosthetic on?
Yeah, just for 30 minutes. They go, put this Alpo on your head.
It took 11 hours to
dry
get a
hump
minute.
you.
No, I made that part up.
No,
so thank you, David.
Thank you. That's a great
Himes.
question.
Yes.